Hello! Hello! How you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
We were just yelling.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're doing.
Oh, you're doing something, that's for sure.
Doing.
All right,
Yeah.
well, let's see who you guys are. Artie, who are you?
You perceive me. I am ARTBOOK, also known on Twitch as FartieArtie. I play Yakov Nettlefoot in the Ballad of Ennersval.
Yes, you do. All right. Who's next? Swifty, whomst are you?
Hello, I'm Swifty. I play Ritz in the Ballad of Ennersval, and I do art over on Doig Swift channel.
Yes,
Yeah.
beautiful art. Oh, and by the way, the art book still very much available. If anyone has a link, drop that in. You guys can buy an art book lovingly compiled by Swifty with like more than 200 pages of art for the first 10 episodes of this campaign, which is crazy.
It's got my sweat and blood in it.
Yes, and
Ooh, milk.
maybe some other bodily fluids. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
All right, Reb, who are you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Reb. I play Wick, the Fire Genasi gunslinger, and I also do art on Twitch. But not for a month because I'm taking a nap, and it's a long one.
Oh, I would
Yay.
love a month-long nap. Are you kidding me? That sounds amazing.
Yippee!
Oh, you're gonna be so rested.
Sleep.
All right, and we have Schnoo. Schnoobert, whomst are you?
I'm not here.
Okay.
Ignore me.
All right, then.
I am Snoop. no, I changed my mind.
Who said that? Was that the wind?
No one.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
it,
here, I don't have to do this.
tis Schnoo. Schnoo is also an
Yes,
artist and a Goomba. Classic.
Classic.
Classic Goomba.
I play
Classic.
classic Kari. Classic.
Classic.
Just period.
Yes, but yes, you play Kari. Very good.
I play Kari.
Very
Kari!
Kari!
Whenever you hear Kari in the wind, know it's me.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Well, we have had a session last time, and now someone will tell us how that session went. So,
Yums.
who's telling us about what happened previously on the Ballad of Ennersval?
It is the evening of day 12. The flowering moon is upon us, and so it seems does a blight descend upon these lands. And she has a name. The ghastly, profane, and towering hag of morn, Lady Thalia Leona Talibon. Her presence in the city evoked a cacophony of painful, echoing waves pulsing through my mind, thundering like an unrelenting war drum. Alongside her malignant visage, a familiar pain resurfaced its stabbing footsteps, each cutting stride carving a sharp reminder of that first night with the unnatural aberration. With her uncanny resemblance to it, she must have dispatched that inhuman being to retrieve the box. Kova shared the horrors of Thalia's harrowing actions and his disturbing past in Morn. I wished to share my sympathy, but Lady Gwendolyn returned to discuss the dire situation, now at her feet. Fueled by the intensity of his emotions, Kova spared no hesitation in expressing his coarse distrust of the lady and the doe's intentions, as well as their capacity to stop Thalia. She dissolved much of his crude statements and, thankfully, pardoned his boorish outbursts as a result of Thalia's foreboding emergence in his mournful past. We learned much about Morn. It began 700 years ago. Its unique magic largely unknown and protected by scrying magics. It also explains why knowledge of it is so limited to the Empire. It also seems the original coven of Morn had 13 hags, now down to 8. Most worrying of all, we learned Morn isn't just a place. It is a force, and one that is spreading. We learned of the Vast, a conglomeration of ghosts, an enormous mist populated with souls of the dead, bodies which date back before present Morn. We know two who've encountered this mist, the Master of Tears, Lady Sophia, who fell to the Vast, and Kova, who survived, thanks to Samuel. Gwendolyn also informed us. For the clan's protection, sensitive intel is kept within a few hands. Among the 4 leaders of the Doe, thus far, she and Master Ovid were the only 2 with knowledge of the Star Trap's existence. After today, Lady Petra too was informed. She, being a fellow spiritkin, felt her mind being probed by Thalia for knowledge on the star trap. Of course, she found nothing, but blinded by a zealous claim for the star trap, she delivered a vehement and merciless threat of destruction. From Kova, we learnt Thalia was not part of the original coven. She earned her hag status 200 years ago, and twisted by a mysterious and malevolent power, has changed considerably over the last 2. It also appears the soiree is still on. Nerves will be high that night. Kova and Ritz expressed fear and disapproval, but Lady Gwendolyn assured us for the powers in this city, as well as those who've travelled for the festivities. Either way, there is no stopping this now, and I can't ease the feeling that death is on the horizon. We also received a boon. As Grapevine agents, Gwendolyn has granted us the ability to cite her name when needed. We mustn't abuse this, of course, but thankfully, D&D mechanics are in place to limit our potential idiocy. We made our way to the Blue Heel and sat down in the bad gal's room. It seems all the chats have been happening over here. There we discussed our feelings of the meeting. Ritz offered Kova his usual kind word and support, but Kova's pent-up energy was still primed for another target. This time, it surprisingly fell on Ritz. He demanded Ritz, in his pleading tone, to tell us the truth behind Sophia's hatred. Ritz finally opened up and told us of the truth. A younger me might have left after hearing this tale, but... and I need to repeat it to myself. He was 16. 16. And it's been 5 years. 5 years to grow. During his clan test at the age of 16, he attempted to steal an item of great value, the Golden Lyre. He saw the opportunity and the financial freedom it could bring his family. A life of poverty and struggle finally over. But he was caught, and the item he stole was in fact a powerful holy artifact of the Golden Doe. Word spread to the clerics of the Empire, and Ritz would henceforth be forsaken. I don't understand why he doesn't regret it, or why the others don't feel the same. It is a heinous crime to any clan to steal an item like this. He risked deracinating the entire Hey, bad lads, are you there?
Huh?
Yeah.
Deracinating means to make someone or something lose their connection to any particular place, background, or way of life.
Oh, the more you know.
Got it.
That's a big word. How many points is it worth?
I points?
Like 3?
Never mind.
Does Scrabble exist in
Now it does.
Yeah.
It's called Scrimblow.
Scrimblow.
Scrimblow,
Happy
canon.
Yeah. Amazing. Anyways, Kova, unsurprisingly, but even Wick were almost unimpressed of his actions. I do not understand how they so easily forgave his ignorance, or if they too do not understand the sheer gravity of that reprehensible action. But it's fine, because Kova is practically a grave robber, and Wick and Osmi used to pants people. I'm surrounded by fools, and my small attachment to them is larger than I'd like to admit. We also learnt Kova and Samael weren't just close, they may be lovers of sorts. Samael wasn't seen by others, and unlike everyone else, he was able to leave and come back unharmed. His powers also allow him to conjure dreams together, and he made one for Kova last night. Something unrelated to the present danger, but he also told us about the deal Samael offered him, to be his quill. And after one encounter with the man, I'm sure he must have said something like, "Be my quill to write the grandest story life could offer," something pompous like that. It also seems Samael may be getting weaker. Something hurt him or otherwise. And how could I forget? Before we set off, Kova gave me a tooth. Some deranged magic that allows him to use part of himself, that hopefully grows back. And listen to this, allows him to speak mentally and see what a person is doing for 1 minute, after which the object will burn away. Speaking of Kova, he and Wick went to the library, and with the token he received from Gwen, Kova finally got his desired library card, and his jaw dropped at the sight of so many books, so many stories to experience, and so much knowledge to gain. Wick was relieved to see joy rather than panic from Kova's mouth, and they both enjoyed the company of Wilfred, the grand spoiler of content. With his winged and woven shoes, he flew to the upper reaches, coming down with a selection of books, ranging from Fae, the etiquette, lycanthropy, and more private subject matters. From here, Ritz and I left for Fiora's pharmacy. Ritz thanked me that day I was able to release him from the cage. You see, he was sneaking out of a camp and... well, that's not important right now. For all the pain, I'm glad to see his growth. Ritz and I traveled to Fiora, and she informed us of the potions we took from the well. One to change color, one to read minds. One potion to gain advantage, and of course, the ointment I requested for my scars. She also told us about the shavings of dust, a corrosive substance, one that could make any metal rust away. What does this mean for Moira and the other prisoners? Are we too late? From here, Ritz and I traveled to Dr. Layfeed's house. In a usual fashion, we broke in, and Layfeed was helpless to stop us. We told him the truth, what Moira really did, and that it wasn't his fault. Ritz pleaded to Layfeed, and with some backup from me, the words finally reached Layfeed. The doctor cried his heart out, renewed at the release of guilt and shame. I gave him a little boost of the bear's endurance, and we left shortly after. Ritz had something in his eye, and I helped him with it. I'm not much of a hugger, but even I needed that one. Wick traveled to the Boar clan quarters of the city and reunited with an old friend, Elidor. The man has seen better days, but the warmth they shared was a joyous one. He told Wick of his 6 years as a trailblazer before his injury. Since then, he's been here in the city for 4 years, taking care of things at home. And Wick did something incredible. I think he agreed to a race? Is that right, Wick?
Yeah, it's, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Shit.
I'm sure you'll do great. He also gave Wick a gift, a tool to help fix the bike that they'll be working on in time for the race. From here, Ritz and I headed towards Boots and Lodging. It was fun to see him scramble through his room, seemingly write documents, sending money back home. I'm sure he'll have a nice time with his very normal family. From here, we split off, and he went to go see them. I'm sure his grandma is absolutely not an undead zombie. His Uncle Wiles definitely did not give him a parting gift because he's afraid he might not come back from a quest outside the city. Following that encounter with Romand, it seems Wiles has to make up for something. Meanwhile, Kova headed to the Curtain Call Manor to meet with Val. He told him of the token that he uses to communicate to others from a distance. They also went to cook. And Kova, remind me, what else did you do with Val?
I mean, I definitely didn't use any teeth to scry on any of my party members, and I definitely didn't read a book till well into the night, and I definitely slept a normal amount.
Of course. The tooth that burnt away in my room as I began to start writing my letter definitely didn't happen. No. Of course, before then, I met with Candor along the way. He gave me a little gift, an oil of toughness, one that he used to give for his father's cane, made by himself. I'm glad to see him being more open with us, and that he's excited for training tomorrow. He also told us of Betry. He's been found, and seemingly partying it up the rich corner of the city. And I think that's it. Bad lads, have I missed anything?
Sounds good to me.
That is great.
Woo!
Yeah!
All right, that was beautiful.
That was
you,
really
already, you already have inspiration, so you get nothing.
I want to
Yeah.
can I give it to someone?
No, you did the intro,
Oh,
so.
But we
that's it.
helped.
That's
Okay,
right.
chat. We're gonna be like very nice and give someone else inspiration for free. Chat, what do you think? Do they deserve it?
Agree.
I
Do
mean,
they
we
deserve
can
it?
do maybe a little D3 roll. You know, this.
Give it to V.
Give it to
No!
Okay, yeah, I get it. That's it. Chat has spoken. I get it. I get
we
to
need it for
reroll.
Kendra.
Weeb.
Yes, thank you, Weeb. All right, so beautiful. With that, we're going back into the world of Ballad of Ennersval. So, very early morning is upon us. The sun is not yet visible, but the first flashes of golden light are on the horizon, and the skies are softly becoming lighter and lighter. Kari, you are waking up quite early for your planned training with the crew. Please give me a perception check.
Perception. Disgrace. Sure thing.
What? No way!
Let's see it. Oh,
Starting
beautiful.
Well,
Absolutely beautiful. So, natural 20. That is amazing. You wake up and you haven't used the bomb yet from Fiora, right?
no, that's great.
You have not. Okay. So you wake up with the usual for you discomfort. The sheets at night rub some of the scars and the burns on your skin a bit too much. It is a familiar pain. What is less familiar is footsteps behind the wall in the room that Ritz and Kova live in.
Oh. I get up. Is there a glass of sorts in the room? Something I can use to hear into the room?
Yeah, sure. There is a cup. You can try and lean at the wall.
Do these footsteps feel recognizable at all?
No, that is the curious thing. Only your very keen perception allowed you to hear the soft footsteps of someone who is definitely not Kova or Ritz. Neither of them are that sneaky.
I'll, in that case, waste no time and enter the room as quickly as I can.
So you rush out, you touch the handle, it is locked.
Oh. I knock loudly. Who is in there?
Okay. You knock and you hear a soft inhale from the inside. A little bit more sound, some rustling, and you hear something creaking.
Does it sound distant like a window?
It sure does.
I will rush out of the building.
Okay, so give me an athletics check. How quickly you can just jump over the stairs leading down and burst out.
Let's go, Kari.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, athletics. Let's
16. Okay, and chat, please give me a roll of a d20.
Uh-oh.
Chat, come on now. Roll low.
Hey,
Hello.
Dad.
Kari, you burst out of the doors, you rush down, just jumping over a few of the steps. You break out of the door and you round the corner, and you definitely see fresh indents of someone's feet in the dirt, in the wet dirt under the windows, but no one is around.
Do the footsteps continue anywhere?
Give me a survival check. Reading footsteps and marks is a survival thing.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a 16.
12. Okay,
Have
do you want to
inspiration.
use your inspiration for us, or we just don't?
I think I can go with it.
Okay, so 12. You check around. You do not see any obvious trail, but you do see those two imprints clearly of someone jumping down.
Let's see. Is there any way for me to like have a record of this? No, the footprint might not matter. At least like a sizing of it. Could I tell or glean like what kind of creature it was? Like, regular human halfling or someone, get a gauge for it.
That would be an investigation check.
Oh.
An 8. So the footprints are sizable, so definitely bigger than a halfling or a gnome would leave, and quite deep, which suggests that the person was heavy. But that is about all you find.
Huh. So bigger than a halfling. Interesting.
Either
In that case-
human or dwarf or half-orc, something definitely of a medium size or larger.
Yes. In that case, I'll go back to the inn. I'll find the innkeeper and ask them. I'll alert them that there was an intruder, and if I can get into the room to see if they've taken any of their
The
belongings.
innkeeper, when you go back in, is not out yet. It is very, very early morning. You're basically the only person out right now.
Dang. Well, I guess I only have one place to go to find someone who's very good at investigation. So I will quickly I'll return back to my quarters to get changed for the day, and then I'll head straight to the guard tower to see if I can find Kendor.
All right. Okay, no problem. I would need a D4 from chat. 1 to 3, Candor is there pulling an all-nighter, as he mostly does. 4, the boy suddenly decided to have a good night's sleep. Unlikely, but there is. Yeah, no, he's there. All right, so you cross the street. It is still very early, even though the city is in full swing of preparation for the flower festival that starts tomorrow. Right now, the street is quite empty. And as you go into the guard tower, you see the same snoozing guard at reception who opens one of his eyes, not even both, and just screams behind him, "Candor!" And you see a rumpled Candor step out of his little desk space, and he says, "Good morning. I thought we have a couple more hours."
We do. Something has come up, and I will need your assistance if you can spare the time.
Of course. Should I grab anything?
No. If you want something to write on, might help.
I always have my notepad and my sword.
Perfect. Then we can get the evidence quickly.
As soon as you say evidence, you see his tired eyes kind of sparkle a little bit, and he very quickly reaches your side and starts to follow you out. He kind of rubs his eyes a little bit and says, "Is everything okay? Is everyone all right?"
Everyone is safe. Someone had broken into the room Ritz and Kova were in. I tried to follow up from the window and they jumped down, but they were faster than I was. But they have left tracks behind. So we might have an opportunity to find out who they are, what they took.
All right. Yes, of course. If the tracks are fresh, we have better chances. And
Also,
yes?
The room is still locked, and I'm afraid it's too early for the innkeeper to be awake. Is there a way we can get into the room? Without force, obviously.
Well, if I had documents for an arrest, I would be able to open the door. But otherwise, I think if they use the window, why can't we, right?
Perfect. That should be fine.
Together, you reach the back of the tavern, and kind of immediately zeroes in on the tracks. And chat, I need another D20. I'm not gonna say what Cander's investigation bonus is, but it's pretty hefty. So let's see what you guys roll.
70.
Advantage.
Yeah, plus 70. A
Okay.
17. That's much better. Yes.
Nice.
So
Kendra, you're
with
so good at this.
with his investigation, it is more than 25. I'll say that. And
Whoa!
he's a
Damn.
smart boy. He's a smart boy.
Mm.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd. So he immediately kind of squats down a little bit and starts inspecting without touching anything, and starts scribbling on his notepad and says, "So, from what I see, this is a human. From the size of the footprints, most likely male. Quite big. Heavy. Not heavy enough to be wearing any metal armor, though. Looks like they didn't touch the ground with their hands at all, so pretty athletic. And I think I can follow this trail. Should we?
Yes, let's go.
All right."
I'm impressed.
He kind of blushes a little, says, "Oh, it's nothing. I have a lot of free time." And he kind of puts his hand on the hilt of the sword and starts going deeper into the narrow alleys behind the tavern. As he does, he kind of looks warily around and says, "Why would someone try to break into one of your rooms? You do not strike me as people who keep their valuables in."
That's an astute assumption. We don't. And I'm not sure what the boys would have had in their room. At least nothing we've brought elsewhere at this point. But hopefully we can find out together.
All right. And he starts walking, and you can see that the trail he picked up is leading outside the city. After a few quick turns, you guys are nearing the same city gate that you've been to and from in previous days. And he steps out and says, "Looks like the trail is leading into the forest. Should we pursue?"
Would you be able to glean how far ahead he is from this?
That, I believe, is a bit out of my abilities, but I mean, if you heard them and you came to me in, say, 10 to 15 minutes, I would assume that they're at least 20 minutes in front of us. If we go
know, this
further, we might run into a chance of a trap if they know that we're coming.
Yeah. Agreed. With the direction that he seems to be heading in, is there any known locations over there?
Well, the road, the merchant route is that way. Forests. Further than that, some farms and, well, a lot of forest.
Yeah. Well, that's okay then. I don't think we'd get much further, and well, I'm not about to risk your life to head into a forest for something that may or may not have been stolen.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not scared.
That is good to know. But still, we must do what is best.
Okay. And with one last look, he starts turning around and heading back. And as he does, he kind of frowns and says, "What is curious is that they decided to leave the city instead of staying in. That is strange. If I sometimes have to pursue criminals, and most of the time they would use wide thoroughfares and small shops and alleyways to lose the guards. It is peculiar that they left."
Yeah. Does that tell you that they're not from the city? Someone from the outside?
Possibly. Or they have a a place set up, something that they feel confident in. Or maybe they have enemies within the city. They don't know if they are safe enough there. In any case, I don't know enough information. If you want, we can try and climb into the room and see if we can find anything.
We could, whilst we're here. Are there any bystanders in the area?
There is a snoozing late night guard at the gate. Usually there's two, but maybe one of them went somewhere for a bit. You see one fella just leaning on his spear. His horned helmet is kind of askew on his head. He's upright, but barely.
The graveyard shift got it.
Yep.
I don't suppose it's worth asking them. They seem unperceptive. Yes, let's head back and we'll investigate the room.
All right. Together you reach the windows again. It's second floor, but not too high. Candace says, I suppose ladies first.
Is this
Or I can, that's fine. And he starts climbing.
Might be easier for me to launch you up.
Okay. Chat, give me a d20. For that
No,
athletics.
The whole put your back against the wall, both hands out to catch the foot.
Yep.
Blink him.
Yeet the boy. Yeah.
He goes over the roof.
Yeah. How does his athleticism seem?
Well, we'll look at the roll and I'll be able to tell you. He is in good shape. He's a fit guy and he's quite young. So you do not expect him to struggle with a second story window. Yeah. But it depends on the roll.
Yeah.
Chat,
I
give me that
assume
d20.
years of chasing Ritz has given him plenty of experience.
Yeah, probably. I have some dice here with me as well, if anyone's too shy to do it. Oh, thank you, Juno. A 5. All right.
Oh no.
No, it's okay. With his athletics, it is passable. So it's not a difficult roll to hit. It's not difficult to see. So he kind of fumbles a little bit, mostly probably out of embarrassment, and he kind of looks around a little and grumbles to himself. Says, "It's kind of not very not protocol, but we can do it quickly." And he starts climbing up. You lift him up and he pretty quickly gets inside, and from the second story he kind of leans out and holds out his hand for you to grab as you climb. So give me that athletics, Kari.
Okay.
21!
That was looking like a 3 for a hot second there.
That is beautiful, though. Yeah, so you get up easily. You kind of take a running start and jump up, and your legs quickly move as you run up the wall a little bit and grab his hand. And as he pulls you out, you didn't even your breathing didn't change, your heartbeat didn't elevate at all. And he kind of looks you down, up and down a little bit, clearly impressed, and says, "You are very good at this. I should be scared if you ever go into criminal career."
Well, yeah, bears are good climbers.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are. Let's, without touching at anything first, let's look around. And Kari and Kanda will both do an investigation check. I'll do it for Kanda this time. We'll see what he can find. Okay.
Shall I roll as well?
Yes, of course. Well, if you want, or you can just leave it to Kanda.
Ooh.
A 9. Okay. So yeah, he gets to work immediately. To your eye, things don't seem to be too different from how they were. But Candace starts looking around very carefully, looks under the beds, looks for quite a long time at the different objects on the table. and inspects the beds. And when he turns around to you and says, "So, it doesn't look like they were here for any valuables or some such. At least I don't see any obvious missing things. This place... It doesn't seem like it was a thief."
Does it seem like someone was looking for something or someone instead?
Yeah, might be. If they were here and didn't take anything, either they didn't find what they were looking for, or they planted something instead. Either way, I don't know enough about Ritz and Kova's belongings to judge.
I can ask them one day when they return if something's missing. I myself don't know exactly what they've got, but I don't think it is very much. At least not personal effects and things of that nature. What would you recommend in this situation? Any preparations?
It is a tough one. If nothing is missing, then I would suggest, when they are back, a thorough sweep to see if anything was planted. If not, then one would assume that they were here looking for someone instead of something. And if that is the case, I would be very careful. A lot of crowds and guests of the city will be out and about in the next few days. So, if any of you are followed, it will be very difficult to judge.
Yes, you're right. Is there anyone we can rule out? Doesn't feel like an assassin if the footsteps were so clumsily left behind.
Yes, well, definitely rule out anything smaller than a human. And probably a human man. Could be a half-orc, but I cannot tell that much. And clearly, they are more comfortable outside the city than in. So, if you're in luck, maybe they will stick out like a sore thumb if they follow you.
Very good. Well, Kendra, thank you very much.
Of course.
I know this was a surprise, but...
No, that is fun. Early brisk walk is good for the health. Which, by the way, we should probably start moving towards Curtain Call, yes?
Yes. Yes. We'll gather some items and we can make our way.
All right. We should probably leave the way we came, though.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. As that happens, Wick, you've been woken up by Elidor very early, way too early for the hangover that both of you are sporting right now. And as you blearily open your eyes, a heavy tool with a bunch of bits and bobs, clearly some kind of magical multi-tool, hits you on the side of the head with a thunk. And Elidor just moves into the kitchen and starts cooking up eggs for the morning. What would you like to do?
Oh man. What time is it?
So you look outside the window. It is quite early, like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning.
Okay. Elidor, how are you already awake?
Years of practice and drinking.
What? That doesn't sound healthy.
What does about me?
That's fair. I'm gonna go get a cup of water.
Water? Pfft, rookie mistake. And he puts
What are you talking about?
a little glass in front of you. It looks like a strange cocktail of some sorts. You see some tomato juice. You see a raw egg floating up top. And it clearly smells of alcohol.
Oh.
This is Black Boar Special, my friend. There's a little bit of soot on the bottom. Really clears everything up.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
Oh, you don't know the half of it. Drink up.
Okay, if you say so.
It
I'll
is a
drink
strange concoction. Give me a Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw.
Oh god, yeah. This is the thing that does me in.
Yep. Wick dies.
We never
Please.
see Wick again.
That was almost a natural 20, but that's a 19.
19, still incredibly good. Yeah, so it is a
Yeah.
strange, like, mostly the textures are wild on this, but it's a egg, some alcohol, and a lot of, like, tomato juice, clearly with, like, paste in it, like tomato bits. It is refreshing, strangely, and as it slowly goes down your throat, suspiciously slowly, might I add, the textures are
No.
wild. In a little bit, your headache does start to go down a little bit, and the
Okay.
body doesn't feel as squeezy as it was. You hear the sizzling as he prepares more eggs and says, "Huh? Feeling better?"
Yeah. We gotta figure out some new recipes for you to cook up.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
I mean, that's true. Hey, by the way, speaking of broke, when do you need to fix your bike? I got some plans that I forgot that there's one of my teammates is training us this morning.
Is it the sad wet dog one or some different one?
No, God no. It's the cool bear lady. She's from the Moon Clan. She's actually what?
He flips the eggs in the air, kind of waggles his eyebrows, and says, "How cool is she?"
She's cool. She's not as cool as Osmi, but she's cool. She's
I mean,
nice.
few people are.
That's true. Fuck, I gotta write that letter.
Yeah, you gotta do a lot of shit.
Ah, shit. Okay. When do you need the bike fixed? When do you need the chariot thing fixed?
All right.
What a fuck.
So first of all, I know for a fact that Pharaoh won't do any moves before the end of the Flower Festival, alright? So sacred time, yada yada yada. So we have at least a week. But we do need to fix up my hog and then start teaching you how to ride that thing. Because I don't think you have any experience with that.
Yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
right about that.
Yeah, so today or tomorrow, we're gonna get that thing fixed up.
Today or tomorrow? What? How long do you think it'll take?
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of fiddling about, and some test runs.
Oh. Well, do we have to do it here? Can we bring it to the training session?
I mean, where's the training session? We kind of have to have a bit of space, you know. It's a hefty and loud work.
That's true. It's over at Curtain Call Manor. We're kind of trying to
The
reinvent
manor,
the place.
the
Yeah.
haunted one.
Oh yeah. We this funny story. We went in there a few days ago and closed a portal. Shit, I forgot to ask you about Elidor. I have so many questions.
All right, keep them after breakfast. But shit, did you like unhaunt the manor?
We mighta. There was a
I'll
lady
be
in a blue
damned.
dress. We put her skull back on her skeleton, and she went into the I don't know, was it the fire plane or something? There were some little flying things trying to eat us.
That sounds like a lot of hassle. Let's eat.
Okay.
As you guys eat, he chews and with his mouth open says, "So, you know, we have to take it to that curtain call and you're on train and then we fix it."
I guess so. I don't really. I mean, I could just go to the train and reconvene with my party, come back and fix it up here.
No,
if you-
I'm curious to see the crew you're rolling with nowadays.
Wait, really?
Yeah, gotta give
Okay.
them the old stamp of approval if they deserve it.
That be great, actually. Yeah. There's a couple. It's a interesting team for sure.
So I hear that there's a depressing wet one, a cool one. Anyone else?
Okay, he's not that depressing or wet. He's just from the swamp. He's from Morn. His name's Kova. He's a halfling. Little anxious fella. There's also let's see. I told you about Kari. I told you about Kova. Ritz. He's a tiefling, really young, like 20 something. Reminds me a lot of me when I was that age, actually. So
Where's he from?
he's from here, I think.
Ah, some Golden Doe folk?
Technically, you could say that.
Technically?
He's got a complicated situation, but I do know he probably thinks you're pretty cool. I think he even knows who you are.
He does.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the boar races.
Ah, yes, of course.
Such. I brought it up and he was like, "What? You're so cool, isn't it?" And all that stuff.
Yeah, kids usually love that stuff. That's kind of one of the ways we recruit people into the trials and shit, you know? No better advertisement than a good race.
Well, if he ever decides he wants to try it out, I wouldn't think twice.
Didn't you say he's technically Golden Doe?
What? His options are open. He's not locking himself into anything just yet.
He kind of gives you like a long stare and continues chewing his eggs as he looks at you and says,
I'm not making eye contact.
Now, Wick, you're always shit and lying, and honestly, come on, level with me. What's happening?
Listen, okay, fine. He's forsaken.
Forsaken? What'd he do?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Isn't he like part of your adventuring crew and that shit?
Yeah. Some information you don't need to. I'm gonna eat more eggs.
He kind of grumbles a little and gives a pause a little bit, but in like 10 minutes he says, "Look, it's your life. I'm not gonna butt in too much, but all I'm saying is, if you trust someone with your life, you gotta make sure they are trustworthy. You know, when I was with the Trailblazers, I mean, we didn't have a heart-to-heart every fucking day, but I knew those peoples were good for it. You know, they would lay down their lives for any one of us."
Oh, there's no question Ritz would do the same. He's a bit of a lockbox in terms of what he wants to share and when, and he's really good at talking himself out of things. So, you know, I get frustrated trying to get answers from him.
Well, if he's a lockbox, I know that you're pretty good at opening puzzles and such.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh my god, wait. Do I have my shit on me? I'm gonna look through my bags and see if I can find that box that, the box that Kari made and show it to him.
Oh, that was fancy.
Isn't it cool? The gang seems to think I have a real fascination with eggs, and I open it up and I'm like, I think this is your fault, Illidor.
That's cute. Hey, they sound like neat people. Yeah, let's go meet them. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
Alright, and as he starts wheeling out his banged up bike, you two start heading towards the curtain call. Ritz, you wake up in your little cubby, in your little space, back in your childhood home. The bed is somehow smaller than you remember it being, but you wake up pretty early to the sounds of humming from the kitchen, and it is it feels just like childhood for a moment. And then you remember that Wiles is gone and the place is a little quieter than you would expect it to be.
Yeah. Wakes up, bangs his elbow on one wall, bangs his other elbow on the other wall, sits up, bangs his head on the shelf, falls out of bed, through the
Nice.
curtain,
Nice.
on the floor. Morning.
You see from the kitchen, your dad Augury picks out his head, and he looks quite chipper as he says, "Oh, hello. How you doing, sleepyhead?"
Oh, I'm good. How are you doing?
"I'm good. Breakfast?"
Yeah, what are we having?
The usual." And he kind of leans back a little bit, and you see that Augury is not very good at cooking. He forgets what he cooks like midway usually and just improvises. And right now you see like charred bits of bread that are swimming between a few different pieces of broth and some vegetables together. And he says, "It's not too charred today. I'm sure some salt, some pepper will fix it up." And he starts just like putting a bunch of spices in there.
The augury special. Ritz is gonna wander over and kind of throw his arm around him and just look over his shoulder at it. That looks
It
great,
has
that.
character.
Yeah, it's my favourite kind of meal.
Yeah. Your mom's outside, putting down the laundry to, fix up the mess that you and my brother left after your impromptu competition. There's a lot of cranberries to be gotten out of the cloths.
Hey, they add character, right?
Oh, they sure do. They look like blood. Ooh.
Ooh. Actually, there was something I wanted to ask for your help with.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, hold up, you'll love this. And he's gonna reach into his bag and take out the portable hole and hold it up in the air with one hand and then stick his other arm through it so it disappears. Eh?
By the Raven.
Eh?
What have you here? What's this now? It's some magic type. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, check this shit out. He
May
holds
I?
it over his head and drops it.
Whoa! He's
happens?
excitedly starts like poking at it. He is like for all of his age and his bushy beard, he is like a big kid starting to like squeeze it and stretch it, look around and kind of put his entire upper body in, and you see just his leggies and a tiefling tail just swaying around. And as he peeks out of the hole and says, "Now that's impressive. Where'd you find this?"
Oh, we got given it by one of the people we're working with.
Who are you working with?
Oh, just someone. They're kind of on the up and up, though. A fancy type.
Fancy
So
type.
a lot of perks.
Yeah, looks like it. What kind of work do you do for them, though?
All kinds. Mostly just little quests and deliveries and shit.
Ritz, give me a deception check.
Okie dokie.
Big 7. Big
Big
7. All right. He kind of sobers up a little bit and says, "Son, listen, you're old enough. I'm not gonna read your lecture, but I'm blind. All right. I've noticed you and Wiles kind of whispering about in the corners, looking perturbed. What kind of work is it? Is it dangerous?"
Nah, not at all, no. I got a bunch of team friends to help me do it. It's great. It's gonna be great.
You got teammates. Why aren't they at the dinner?
Oh, they're all busy. They got more important shit to do, I think.
And more important than your mom's sugared cranberries? Now that's madness.
I know. I mean, I ain't saying that, but they got some stuff they need to do around the city, so maybe one day we'll swing by.
One day. You visiting quite rarely nowadays. Your mom and I are not too happy about that." And he kind of theatrically frowns his bushy eyebrows at you, but he can't really hold the frown for too long.
I'm sorry, I'll come by more often. Just been busy,
Yeah, looks like. All I'm saying, if there's, big magic like this, that usually comes with big responsibilities and even bigger problems.
Yeah, you're telling me. It's been alright so far, though.
All right, well, I'm happy to someday hear about it.
Well, until then, he's going to fish into the hole and pull out the tools from the doctor. You know lay feed?
Yeah, I recognize these.
Mm-hmm. Well, the tools have been desecrated, Dar. We've been trying to look into what's been happening to him.
Yeah.
And,
that ghastly business. Yeah. Me and your ma, we tried to, visit him. But about a week ago, he was not taking visitors at all. It didn't look like he was having a good time.
Yeah, I got to
who
see him
would?
yesterday.
So many people died. It was rough going for a bit.
Yeah, it weren't him though, Dar. That's the important thing. I kind of need you and Ma to start up the rumour mill a little bit. Start telling people around the Fallows that he's back. It was the nurse, not him.
The nurse? What's her name? Millie?
Moira.
Mary? Moira. Right.
Moira.
What'd she do?
You don't want to know. But that was kind of like the first thing we did as part of this new work is we looked into it. And we caught her. So she's going to jail. It's all good. Doc's going to be back in his clinic. But we need to get the tools cleaned and decursed.
Ah, he kind of rubs his little hands together and says, "Well, that's where I come in,
That's where you come in.
All right. That sounds exciting. Come on in." And he puts the charred breakfast back on the fire and just forgets about it and shuffles into the living room, where now instead of the dining table, it is a table for seances, with a pretty dark cloth, and you see little crystals, a little strange dolls made of bones. And he sits down in one of the chairs and says, "Please sit down and let me show how your father works."
Of course, Dar, of course. And he'll fan out his little robe and sit down all poised.
All right. He starts looking at the toolkit from every side, sniffing it a little bit, and says, "Yes, it's very, very cursed. Well, this requires a bit of help with dark magics like this. Well, your granny taught me a few things and left a few things behind." And he picks out one of the little bone toys on the table. It looks like a tiny person holding their hands up. Each hand is like a bird bone, very small and carved out. And he leans it against the tools in front of himself and starts chanting something in infernal. Give me an Arcana check, Ritz.
All right. As soon as he starts getting to work, Ritz leans over the table, props his head up onto his hands. He loves watching his dad work. Oh no.
Well, that is a natural one. Yeah, so you haven't seen him work in a while. So instead of focusing on the process, you kind of just sit and enjoy the atmosphere and look at his hands, long spindly fingers moving around the tools, and you miss the moment where that tiny little bone toy springs to life, and its hands, from looking straight up, start slowly caressing the edge of the toolkit in a way that is a little creepy. But as the tiny bone hands start to pat at the tools, you see your dad kind of lean forward and whisper something to the little bone totem, and it nods its tiny head and starts very slowly first, and then faster and faster, running around the little toolkit, just circle after circle. And as it does, the strange rickety sound of it moving starts getting louder and louder, and that strange creaking and ticking becomes overwhelming for a second, until there's sudden silence, and mid-step that tiny totem falls and is motionless once more. The tools glow softly, as do the tips of your father's fingers, and as he opens his eyes, he smiles at you and says, "It is done. They have been decursed."
Whoa! It's always so cool.
Yeah, well, your granny left a few interesting things behind, and this little fella is what helps me remove curses and such. He's gonna be tired for a bit, but I'm sure in a few days he'll be back and about.
Did she make him? And he gives it a little poke.
She sure did. I call him Bone Bone.
Bone Bone. Good name.
Yeah, well, on account of it's a bone thing.
Yeah, it's a bone thing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
You get it, yeah.
yeah. We're all good at naming things over in this family.
As you guys sit and talk, you hear the door open, and your mother comes in with an empty basket and says, "Did I hear something about decursing before breakfast? That's not how we do things in this house."
Oh, well, it's already been done, Ma. Sorry.
Ah, all right. Oh, augury! And she runs into the kitchen and starts just fanning at the smoke that is now billowing from the kitchen. And she says, "Open the windows."
He goes and flings them open.
Yeah, she runs out and throws the charred breakfast out of the window and says, "Oh, augury, yet again making food for the pigeons before us."
To be fair, I think it was a bit better this day than it was most other days, so...
Your father nods and says, yes, I think I'm actually improving.
Yeah, I got like half of it down.
She grumbles a little and says, "All right, you two do not touch anything in the kitchen. I'll make something." As she gets to work, though, you do notice that the sun is slowly but surely rising over the horizon.
Oh shit. I got somewhere to be.
It's early in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna go train with
Train. Augury nods and says, "Yes, our son has a team, and he works deliveries for someone up in the city." And she says, "Is that so?"
Yeah. A real team. There's like 4 of us. It's pretty cool.
All right. When do we get to meet that team?
Oh, I don't know, when they're not all busy.
Are they too busy to have a nice dinner with us?
Well, they all got important things to do elsewhere. They're pretty important people, so...
Important? Well, you're just as important, and having good food is also very, very important. So sit down, you eat breakfast, and then you leave.
All right. There's something that I wanted to talk to you about, Ma, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Speaking of this new job, I'm earning, a fair amount of money now, I think. I'm doing all right for myself. And, I'm 21 now, so I figured maybe it might be about time that you just tell me how much you owe in this place before it's yours.
She's been chopping up some vegetables with her back to you before this, and you just say that she kind of stops for a second and goes back to chopping and says, "Ritz, we talked about this. It's not something you have to be worried about, right? Me and your father, we're handling it."
Well, what if I want to help? And also, you want to teach me about how to do all this financial stuff, yeah? Well, how am I supposed to learn properly if I don't even know what the situation is?
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on, Ritz. Come on.
Ooh.
Okay, 15. Not bad. She kind of looks back at your father. You see him kind of shrug a little bit, and she says, "Yeah, suppose you get into that age where you have to take your fiscal responsibility quite seriously."
Exactly, yeah. It's about time, don't you think?
Look, those numbers are not good to mention before we ate our breakfast. It's gonna leave us without an appetite, but I suppose if you'd like to pitch in, and you're not taking money out of your own lunches or anything, then I don't see why not.
Yeah. No, that sounds great, yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it after breakfast.
All right. Well, go wash your hands.
He's not saying anything else in case he ruins it. He's just gonna run off and do that and come back as fast as possible.
When you finish washing your hands and you step out of the tiny little bathroom, you hear your parents talking in a hushed whisper. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yes.
22. Very nice, very nice. All right, so you slow down just a second and you hear them talking. You hear your father say, "Oh, come on, it's not that bad, is it? Look, the kid is trying to have more responsibility. I think it's a good time." And she says, Listen, I don't think it's a good idea to mention to him the people we owe money to, all right? He's a good kid, but I don't want him to be a part of that." And your dad says, "Look, sooner or later, none of us will be able to shield him from it. Might as well talk." And she says, "After breakfast."
All right, I'm famished. Let's do it. Breakfast.
Yeah, let's eat! And your dad claps a little bit. It's like awkward silence all around, but your mother sighs and just gives you guys plates and ushers you back to the table. We'll be back with Ritz. For a second, though, we'll go to Kova. So, Kova, how did you sleep today?
Barely, if at all. I think he's mostly been spending time going like, "I'll go sleep for like 5 minutes," and then going up and I should check the books again. And do that routine for like pretty much the whole night.
You don't have a very good sleep today for obvious reasons. So you do notice that neither does your friend Vala. He is having clearly like pretty tense sleep most of the time. And early morning, when you are slightly finally dozing off to sleep, you hear scratching and strange sound of teeth grinding, and you look over and see that his claws are out, and he is like his sleeping form is shuddering, and the clawed hand is like ripping into the floorboards as his eyes are still closed, but is clearly experiencing a nightmare.
He'll immediately like rush over and place like his hand on his shoulder gently, trying to see if this is severe enough to wake him.
Okay, as you touch him, he is extremely clammy. You see cold sweat gathering on his shoulders, and as you touch him, the sudden contact makes his whole body spring into action, and you see that clawed hand rake forward. I need you to do a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
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 Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, no.
Oh no, this is tragic.
Hey, boop. Okay.
A 9. So, with a wild expression, his yellow eyes glowing in the early morning, the hand rakes forward and you feel a rush of pain over your chest, and you see that he is almost blindly moving and thrashing. And as you feel that that pain and tiny bits of blood start trickling down your front, you see his heavy breath start to balance out, and some sort of consciousness goes back to his eyes. He's like, what? And he looks at you, and he sees the ripped front of your shirt, and you see his face crumble, and he says, oh no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just
You see him start like backing himself up into the corner of the hole, kind of trying to get as small and as far away from you as possible.
he'll like have his hands up and back up a bit, and just stand in the middle of the room. Clearly not too worried about pain. More so
by
concerned.
the way, the damage you get.
Oh, great!
Okay, 4 damage.
That's fine. He's not worried about it. Yeah, he seems to just like not flinch at that as much as he is just trying to watch his moves to make sure that he can tell what Val is feeling and thinking.
Val is clearly distraught. You see his horrified eyes as he looks at your wounded chest, and he kind of curls his still elongated nails into his palms and kind of hides them under his arms as he backs into the corner and gets as small as he can.
He's gonna just place one hand on his chest, and it's gonna like cinder. It's a lot less gracious as his healing looks on other people. It's a lot more realistic burning feeling and sounding. But he heals himself with his fire.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how much he heals himself. Okay, he's all good. All
nice. With that strange sizzling sensation, the gashes on your front start to mend themselves together. It burns a little bit, but you can feel that the blood stops pouring out. Val doesn't seem to notice, and instead he's just mumbling, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry. Things happen. Just, were you having a dream? Are you good?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I've been trying to not talk about it until I got a solution, but maybe we should talk about the werewolf thing a bit at some point.
Yeah, maybe. And you see his face still distraught, and you see guilt in his eyes as he looks down and says, I don't... The scary thing is, I don't know if those are dreams or memories.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of violence.
Yeah. Trust me, I get it.
He's gonna like move a bit closer slowly, sit like on the ground about like a 5 or so meters away from him.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's not easy. I don't fault you for it. I'm fine. See, no wounds or anything. All good. But I have a book about lycanthropy. I don't know how much it's gonna help, but are you okay talking about backups?
Backups? What does that mean?
I don't know if I can find anything on curing lycanthropy in the span of half a month now. I'm not sure how long I have anymore, but you the cage you were in, the silver stuff,
are you willing to be bound or anything during a full moon, or how should we approach this?
You see him visibly gulp, and his eyes move between looking at your face searchingly back to the gashes left on your shirt. And he says, yeah, I get it. If we can't figure it out in the next couple of weeks, then we should probably use that cage again.
Just we should find whatever's, best for you.
Bindings wouldn't work. I tried. I tried that myself. I tried binding myself with a rope to a tree when I was in the forest. It didn't work.
Ropes
But
don't seem to hold werewolves back much, I've seen.
that cage was... It was enough.
Okay. I don't know how we're gonna get it out of the sewers, or if the guards already have it, but I just, I want to be transparent about it, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I don't know what I would do if I killed you as well.
Oh, seems easy, but it's a lot of people have tried lately, and I'm still kicking, so.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I forgot to mention. The rest is coming over this morning.
The rest, like your friends.
Yeah, and I think they are bringing one of Ritz's friends, who you don't know, and I don't think you're supposed to know because he's like with the guard.
Oh, should I hide?
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. You wouldn't want to be seen, socializing with a rogue werewolf.
No,
I get
that's
it.
not. That's not what I mean. It's more that I don't want to risk your safety or his safety for knowing. I'm fine knowing a werewolf. That's not an issue.
Well, if you say he's a guard and the guards have the cage, maybe we should ask them.
That's true. Yeah, we haven't really talked about this part. Maybe hide for the beginning so we could talk about.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I've seen some rooms over here on the second floor I could use.
Yeah. I think there's also some dinner left over if you want breakfast.
I'm not hungry, thank you.
Okay, so that's all the official stuff out of the way. Do you want to talk about your dream?
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Skadoosh. 17.
17, not bad. Chad, give me a roll of a d20 for Valor.
Let's go, Valor.
5, okay. He frowns a little, and clearly your soft demeanor is getting through to him. I was on the front lines fighting. They would, push me out there, and I guess I was agitated enough that I just went for closest living targets. Every time I sleep, I feel that blood on my hands and in my mouth. And the dreams usually end with... They end with me killing a child. I feel a small, fragile body on my claws. It's a small girl, and she has beautiful blonde curls, and she's she's dead. Every time.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think this happened? To you? That you did this?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would there be a small child on the front lines and on the western border? I don't know. I hope it's not true. But it feels so real every time.
Dreams can often be like muddled memories. They're like stories that are told with the context of other things that you've got going on. Sometimes you'll replace a person in your memory with someone else who you know well, just to send a message across to you, or someone that's just easy to think of. Maybe you confused things. Maybe you just are scared of the possibility of hurting someone you care about. Maybe this was a person that you knew a while ago. There's a lot of things that can be true. Dreams are not always perfect memories.
You sound like you were talking from experience.
Yeah. Suppose I've come clean a few times now. I've not had the best time, in Morn. A lot of stuff happened there, well, I'm not proud of. I lost a lot of people, and I tend to dream things too that are... I know they're not like how they happened. It's too fantastical to be real, but it feels real, you know? It's like you're dreaming your feelings. I know now not to trust the things I dream as much, especially because I've got my own situation going on with that apparently, but that's... You don't have to get into that. It's just... Fear is powerful. It's an important feeling to have. It keeps you on edge. It keeps you ready to fight, ready to run away. It's... If you tell someone to be fearless, you're not really understanding what you're saying. But you can't let yourself be controlled by it, because you'll freeze up and you'll lose what you have or what you could get.
You see him move slightly out of his corner, and he gets a little closer to you and puts a nervous hand on your shoulder and says, It's okay.
I tried to console you, and this is stupid. It's just you remind me a lot of myself, which is tough, sometimes, but it's... You can't just feel fear all the time, because it's not gonna have the same effect anymore. You're not gonna be ready to instinctually dodge out of the way. You're gonna be flinching and skittering and nervous about everything around you. So, yeah, just... I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I get it. I think let's promise each other, yeah? Let's promise not to flinch next time.
Yeah. I didn't know you could actually turn as much as you did on the command, I guess?
Command is a strong word. I can do a little bit, I guess, when I'm scared or angry, but I feel like I feel like I could learn, but I don't know if I have the
Well-
time.
I should at some point teach you to read and write. That'd be a good one to keep track of things. I've got my own powers and stuff that I got and rejected for a bit, but ultimately, I mean, words. Just maybe we can figure out how to keep a journal and how to have you, instead of curing lycanthropy, if that doesn't work, maybe controlling it. It seemed like Virik had a control on it. He went full dog when he got out of the kettle thing. Maybe you could do that too if you train.
Part of me is thinking that maybe going with Virik would have been the safest choice for everyone.
Not for you though.
Yeah, I guess.
Things. It's a hard choice, and it's easy to throw yourself into danger if you know that it's gonna be better for those around you. But you can't lose the reins on your own life. It's not a way to live. People in power, people with greed, they're not always trustworthy and correct. You gotta listen to yourself sometimes.
I would like to learn how to read and write. I feel like I knew. I just forgot.
Yeah. We could get something going.
Yeah.
I can teach you. I guess I can't really write something down that can help you learn when I'm gone. Kind of beats the point. Maybe you can
We'll
lend a
figure
book in
it
the
out.
library.
Yeah, we'll I'm sure we'll figure it out. And speaking of dreams, maybe some of them were prophetic. I did dream of someone like writing with a quill, just sitting writing something. So maybe that's us. I don't know.
Yeah. Just don't let your life be controlled by a dream. Make sure
Yeah.
that you look at the real world.
Yeah. Okay. Should I hide now?
Yeah. He looks at the sun.
Yeah. You peek out from the curtain. It is definitely very, very close to the time when the gang would show up.
We can find a place. I'm sure they'll knock when they're here. I'll just pop over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Of course.
I'm sorry again about your chest.
Oh, I can. Actually, that's a good one to do. I'll start fixing that up while we sit here.
Do you take off your shirt?
Yes, he's got bandages underneath it, so.
Yeah, as you take off the shirt and there are bandages, he kind of looks at them quizzically and says, Were you wounded?
Oh. I suppose you're fine knowing. I got I suppose I need to redo these anyways because there's slashes in them, and they'll start taking off the bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
As he sees the flank and the side of your back with the unformed wing sticking out, says, What is that?
Yeah, I've got. I think I'm Fae now.
Huh.
A lot happened in Morn. The whole fuzzy ears and tail are not a regular halfling thing.
Does that hurt?
It's not comfortable, I suppose. I asked a clothes maker to make me something that might be a little more nice to wear. I just, don't want weird interactions or looks and stuff. I don't even know
Yeah.
how to explain it, really.
Yeah, I get it. With sometimes people also look at me weird, mostly because of the marks and stuff. So,
Yeah.
well, we kind of look more alike than I thought.
Told you remind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you start doing his bandages again and stitching up his shirt.
All right. As that happens, Kari, you and Kanda are on the road to Curtain Call. The trek is quite long, and as you walk, the sun is slowly cresting over the walls of the city, and people start waking up. You see some people opening windows. You hear early hustle and bustle of the shops as people start to set up for the day of the trade. And as you walk, Kanda, as you guys walk over one of the bridges, he kind of looks at the water and says, "Kari, I was curious a little bit about, well, that is to say, if that's something that you wouldn't want to talk about, that I completely understand. It's not of my business. But I was curious about how your trial went."
My trial. It was a long time ago.
I was just wondering if it's any different from the Golden Doe.
As that's not something we've done for the backstory stuff, what would a moon bear trial entail be?
Give me a history check, because it has been quite a while for Kari.
Yes, like 22
Wow.
years. History.
History.
My favorite role.
9. Do you want to use do you want to use your inspiration in any way?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Inspire the lad.
Please be good.
Oh!
Oh, it's worse. Oh, no.
I don't know nothing. I got bonked in the head. Now I'm a black boy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, your memories of it are hazy. Like a lot of the things became hazy after your last mission with the guard. You do remember though that bits of the trial were to represent the values of the Moonbear clan and the Moonbear spirit. There was a section on trying to navigate over a desolate, snowy forest using the stars above your head. There was a strange moment that you remember of you trying to mediate a dispute between two spirits, strangely like humanoid shape, but not quite. And you remember a moment where you had to console a small animal that was clearly scared of the dark. It was like hazy bits of memories, but you remember being tested on values such as thoughtfulness, leadership, and your ability to navigate difficult situations.
This actually works quite well with a little idea I was having. So fuck it, we'll go. I do remember one thing in particular. You see this long scar on my cheek?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we had to do, or rather I ended up doing during my test, was consoling a small animal. It was a cub wild dog. And it, well, it pawed my face in fear, and huskies grow large claws. And, well, I remember that dog fondly. It had no pack, and I took it home.
So you got a dog out of the trial? That sounds way cooler.
Yeah. Well, and then initially I just wanted to make sure that it was healed up, but well, it decided to stick around.
Did you train it?
Yeah, we often have sled dogs, and well, being from the Moon Bear, we don't tend to have something just for entertainment or joy, and if it does warm our hearts. He stuck by my side for many years. Attached
You
to the
see,
bed, you might say.
You see a smile on his face, and he kind of looks up at the sky and says, I always wanted a dog.
No. What kind would you like?
Oh, I would like a big one. Fluffy.
Yeah, they are the best.
Yeah, but, you know, with our living situation right now, I don't think we have the space for a dog. And, well, growing up, that was not a thing I could have.
Hmm. Tell me if your homeland, if you don't mind.
Ah, Palaxia.
Yeah.
A land of magic, a land of adventurers, a pearl of arcane power. That's what they say about my city.
Hmm.
It's built on water, kind of similar to Ennersval, but instead of one large river, we have plenty of channels. It's what we use for roads. There are boats everywhere, and well, those who cannot fly use the boats.
Those who cannot fly.
Oh yes. Well, it's a capital of arcane arts. There was a lot of mages and sorcerers and wizards. There was even a flying carpet taxi.
You don't say. That sounds remarkable.
Yeah. Some of my memories of my home seem so strange now. Very different from this place. Sometimes I worry if I dreamt it up.
How long has it been since you were in Palaxia?
Oh, way too long now. About close to 10 years, I think.
10 years. Well, seems that's a common number these days. Even Wick hasn't been here for 10 years.
Yeah, I guess we would have just missed each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful place. One day I think maybe you should visit it.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating. Do you, well, I assume by your tone, you miss it quite a lot.
Not enough to go back. And you see his smile go a little sadder, and he says, but you definitely should. It's very beautiful.
Recommend any spots?
Yes. There are little cafes in the center of town, and well, if you ever go, you should visit one called Treasures of Zertan. It's a place where they sell coffee. It's a kind of substance that is similar to tea, but it's bitter, and it gives you energy for a long time.
Oh, I've met some warriors who've had this, they would. Well, it was quite crude. They would chew the bean.
Oh, that does not sound pleasant. No,
No, not at all.
The cafes back in Palaxia, they do all sorts of drinks with it. They add spices, sometimes milk. Sometimes they even make desserts with it. Felicity was always fond of those.
Coffee. Sounds extravagant for a drink, but the sounds of it, it's tasty.
I think you'd like it.
Anything you miss back home besides the coffee?
He looks at the horizon kind of wistfully and says, It's a little silly, I guess, but sometimes I miss the roads and everything being so strange and colorful. And here Ennersval is more predictable, and I like it. I like it that way, but back home you never knew what would be waiting around the corner, what kind of strange magic would be there. And well, I'm no mage. I could do a few things, but I was always in awe of what the arcane artist back home could do.
Yeah, it seems like a place, don't want to say ruled by magic, but something of status.
Oh yes. If you had no magic, you would be nothing. Those who cannot cast would take lowly professions, and their life was not much in the eyes of the government. And you see him kind of sober up, and he says, Not everything about my homeland was good.
Yeah. I imagine every place has its dark sides.
Yes. And you see him kind of clamp up a little bit, clearly embarrassed by the amount he told you. But you guys are slowly starting to get to the Fallows district, and the manor is very close by. As that happens, Wick, you and Elidor are on the road, the main road of the Fallows. You see a few people give you a wide berth with your rickety, strange metal contraption. It makes unholy sounds, and you're pretty sure that one of the wheels is bent in a way that looks more square than circular now.
No.
So every couple of seconds there is like a badump. Strange sounds as you guys try to wheel it forward. Elidor doesn't seem perturbed by that at all. He's kind of whistling a little tune as you go. And he kind of looks over at you and says, Hey, Wick, so about that letter to Osmi, thought of what you want to write?
Oh, yeah, kinda, a little bit. I actually wanted to ask you... I kind of fucked up, I think. I didn't.
That does not
tell
surprise
her.
me.
Okay, listen. Hear me out.
Yeah, go
You're
on.
right. I didn't tell her what I was gonna do here. I think it took me a minute to even know what I was doing here myself, but, how do I tell her in the most gentle way that I've been poking my head in places where she would be pissed if I went alone, and I did it anyway, and it's, I fucked up.
Yeah. No shit. I mean, alright, to be fair to you, when you went to Ennersval, did you know what you were gonna do?
Well, okay, I knew I wanted to find you. She knew that much. I just wanted to check in and see if everything was okay. I was getting a little restless at home, yada yada.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I get it. People like us are not really suited for, comfortable, steady life, so I get it, but I don't think Cosme wants you to do this alone.
I don't think so either. I should probably tell her what we found, at least. You said you had more information about... I'm honestly, I'm a little bit scared how secure the mail system is around here.
Well, don't know about mail, but you are kind of in luck. So during the Flower Festival, right, there's a bunch of fancy folk that visit, and people try to impress each other a lot. There's a lot of trade going on. So basically, if you have some money, great time to spend it. But there is one elven fella. He, last year at least, did that thing where he kind of enchants paper, and it can, like, find the receiving person wherever they are. It's really cool. Yeah, I used it to send word to my buddies in the Trailblazers. So maybe you could use that if he comes back.
That sounds perfect, yeah. I had this whole plan where I was gonna use our code names and be really cryptic and then write in Infernal and stuff, and it was gonna be really cool and badass, and...
You can still do that. You can still do the cool and badass Infernal shit, just, maybe you don't have to worry about the postal service being whack.
Oh, okay. Cool, yeah. I'll tell her. Do you want me to tell her anything about, your goings-on and... Oh, fuck! Have you read the news lately?
I mean, what kind? What are we talking about?
About Tusktooth Mine?
Oh shit, yeah, I did, but, heard the Guild of Grail folks were sent out, so maybe they're gonna be back and, maybe all's gonna be well. I hope so, at least.
Should I tell her about that?
Don't know, that's up to you. One thing you definitely should tell her. You know what? You should tell her how much you miss her and how much you want to see her beautiful face. Women love that shit.
Wick gets very blushy very fast.
Oh, come on.
I know. I was getting to that part. Listen, shut up.
Were you though?
Yeah. God. You don't know. You don't get to know everything, Elidor. You think you get to know everything.
Well, I kind of do.
Okay.
Listen, you don't have to tell me in detail or anything. I just know that if you get lucky enough to have someone like Cosme at your side, you better fucking work to keep him.
You're right. I've been a little bit of a shit.
Tell me something I don't know.
You really haven't changed much, have you?
Yeah. Neither did you.
By the way, what'd you do to get your bike all fucked up like this?
I mean, what didn't I fucking do? It was already pretty fucked up after my last Trailblazer stunt, but I mean, I also kind of sort of went on like a drunk fender for a few months afterwards. That really fucked it up. It was not a good time. But hey, I'm better now. I only drink every other day. Yeah.
Listen, I don't have the authority to tell you what to do, but I don't think waking up and drinking a raw egg and tomato juice every day is the best goal to have.
But it's all proteins and vitamins a Black Boar clan member would want. It's what the Black Boar craves.
And then you put alcohol in it.
It just was spice.
Maybe a little less spice next time.
Maybe. I'd have to stay fucking sober as a crystal if I need to teach you some of the stuff I know. That's for damn sure.
True. You know, by the boar's ass, I'm not getting behind any sort of wheel if you're tipsy, so.
You think I'm letting you behind the wheel before you know everything about how this shit works? Nah. First few days, you're just gonna be grilled on how this functions.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
Okay, but you know that I learn best with, like, hands-on. I gotta do shit.
Yeah, your hand's gonna be on the bike, just not fucking riding it. Nice.
Fine. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
when we get there, we might be talking about some really secretive shit. We got a job with some, higher parties that don't want people to know about them, and so we, I can't tell you much, but, yeah, I don't want to. There's some
Listen,
stuff
I'm
you're better
confused.
not
Do you
knowing.
want me to like put my hands over my ears when I'm there? What's happening?
No, just don't pry. Don't be like, what the fuck are you saying?
I never
What are you
fucking
talking about?"
pry. I'm so chill.
You're so chill. You're so chill, Elidor. You've always been so chill.
Yeah. And he kind of sniffs haughtily and says, "I don't know what you're talking about. It's gonna be smooth sailing from here."
Smooth sailing. All right, buddy.
And you two start getting closer and closer to the curtain call as well.
Yay.
Meanwhile, Ritz, you see the sun getting further and further up over the horizon. You know that you're definitely late. But as the breakfast finishes, you see that your mother and your father are not getting up yet. In fact, they kind of look at each other, and your mom sighs and says, "All right, so I don't want to like get into too much today, but there's something
Just
you should
lay it
know.
on me. Lay it all on me. Come on.
So maybe you remember sometimes there's a fella that stops by the shop, human guy, little braid, little goatee usually,
Ma,
dark leathers.
Ma.
Yeah?
I know. I know about Alneric. I know.
How do you know about Elneric?
You know, you hear things around the city.
Around the city or from Wiles?
Around the city.
Give me a deception check.
Lying to mom.
Shamefully good at this.
He's been practicing this one for a long time.
Yep. She kind of looks at you a bit longer and says, "Yes. Alneric is a fellow with some pull, some coin. And when we fell on hard time, which was most of the time, we asked for help."
How much help did you ask for?
Well, at first it was not too much, a few hundred of gold, and it's something that we would be able to pay off if we sold some of the magic items and did a few rituals here and there. But well, you remember how things were. Not a lot of people out there want our kind of services.
He puts his hand on his mum's hand. Yeah, I get it.
So, months turned into years, and 100 or so gold pieces turned into a few thousand. And, well, you know about those things. There's interest, and if you can't pay up, you have additional fines and things. And,
Yeah.
yeah. He was, as far as people like that go, he was not too demanding, didn't come to break any windows or anything, but I'm no fool. I've seen your uncle disappear again and again, and, well, I do not ask what he does, but I know it's connected. And, one time, this was, I thought a stroke of good luck. One time, whilst came back sore and tired and unhappy, but with a lot of money. A lot of money. It paid off a big chunk of what we were owing, but somehow he started disappearing more after that. And, well, we were hoping that, you know, with your trial to the Golden Doe and everything,
Yeah, I know.
things felt like they were looking up, and then they didn't again, and that's fine. We deal with it like we do. We're a resilient family. But as of right now, we are a few tens of thousands of gold in debt.
I need you to tell me the number exactly. I know I let you down. Just give me this, alright? Just tell me. I need to know the number.
She looks at your dad, and Augury gives her a very sad smile and nods and says, "Go on, love." And she sighs and says, It's 45,000.
45. Alright. Thanks for telling me, Ma. And he'll walk around the table and give her a big hug, kiss the top of her head. Then he'll hug his dad too.
They hug you close, and your dad says, "Listen, it's, it's tough going on there, but we've survived so far, right? We've been doing our best, and I'm sure things gonna be looking up."
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. But that number, are you keeping up with it, or is it going up?
So, I've been trying to pay up what we've owed, and in the last couple of years, the number went down a few thousand, which is good. It used to be 50,000, which, that's with interest already, but if I pay at a steady rate like I've been, we're looking at a few decades, and then the building's ours, and we are no longer in debt. We're probably going to be in our 80s by then, but hey.
A few decades? How much are you paying a month?
It varies. It does vary, but hey, we've taught you math for something. Figure it out, huh?
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I can help out now. I'm getting paid better. I can put a bit more towards it. We'll be alright.
Yeah, I know we'll be. We're a strong bunch.
Yeah. We got this.
Yeah, one thing though, Ritz. And she looks at you in the eyes, and for the first time in a long time uses your real name and says, "Merit, I want you to be very careful, alright? Alnaric..."
Your careful's my middle name.
Yeah, right. I want you to know that our dealings with Alnaric are ours alone, alright? If you have... The fuck was that?
Misclicked my mute button. I was gonna yell.
Oh my gosh!
I'm so sorry.
Wow!
Fuck!
The moment.
That's hilarious. And also, fuck you. We're having a moment over here,
Alright, I'm I'm getting back into it. I'm getting back.
Ooh, it's fucking good.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Wick dies, and then Kari, and then Cove, and then Ritz. And oops, a TPK. No.
Rich stares at his dad as he puts the drum away.
Thanks, kid. Not the best time. Stupid. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah,
You were
she
saying,
says,
yeah.
she says, Merritt, if you get some money and you want to pitch in, bring it to us, okay? Don't go to Elneric. If you know him, just, you know, be polite on the street, but don't engage. We got this, and it's
Can I ask
it's not
why?
something.
You
He's
just don't want me involved?
yeah, he's not bad, not necessarily. He's, you know, he helped us stay afloat, but his dealings with the criminals of the city are well known. I don't want you near that life. I know already you had some run-ins with the guards and, you know, rambunctious teenagers and all that. I don't judge too much, but this stuff is not the same as a bit of vandalism and fireworks at night with your friends, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So be careful,
I'll
Merritt.
bring the money to you. I'll be careful, I promise.
Yeah. And she holds your hand in her hands, and she kind of touches your cheek with her thumb and says, "I'm very proud of you. You're doing something out there for yourself, and that is something to be proud of. I know the failure with the Golden Doe set you back a little bit, but it's good to see you back on track."
Yeah, of course. You know I'm proud of you too, right? Both of you.
Yeah,
We'll keep trucking and we'll make it work.
we will.
He
All right.
hates lying to them so much.
Yeah, she kind of pats you on the cheek and says, "Well, someone was talking about his important friends and training, so get to it."
Right, yeah, I gotta go. Thanks though for being honest with me about it.
Of course. Yeah, you are old enough now. And, well, you will inherit this place once we are gone, so.
What was it about Forsaken not being able to own property again?
We'll figure something out.
Sure, don't worry about it, Ma.
All right. And they hug you once more, lead you to the door, and you start heading towards the curtain call.
Yep. He sure does.
So, the sun is up. There are people on the streets, and by a fortuitous accident, or perhaps by someone's invisible hand, Kari, Kanda, Elidor, Wick, you guys meet on the last few stretches of the road before curtain call.
Oh shit. Hey!
Huh?
Hey, Kari! Hey!
Well,
And
well.
I wave.
Hello, Wick.
Hey! Oh! Hi, Candy.
Hello?
Elidor.
Yeah, what?
dude.
What?
Introducing my friend Elidor. Yeah, this is Kari.
My
That's
spirits,
Candor.
you're horrible at this.
Fuck you.
Pleased
Howdy.
to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. You're the cool one, right? She's a cool one.
The cool
Yeah.
one?
Shut up.
And who's this fellow? Looks like a guard.
This
Is that
Candor.
also one of your adventuring buddies?
Oh, he's a friend. He's a friend of one of them. What? Are you
Kanda-
training with us?
And
Candid-
an expert investigator by the...
Kanda nods and says, yes, good morning, Wick. Good day to you, Sir Elidor. And Elidor says, yeah, sure. Yeah, I've heard there's gonna be some fancy training over here, and well, me and Wick have to fix up this old rust bucket. So, hey, why not do both at the same time, right?
Yeah, I triple booked myself, I think. Sorry.
That's okay. Today is should be easy enough for all of you. How close are they in vicinity to us?
You just chatting on the side of the road.
Does the fragrance of booze carry through the air?
Give me a perception check.
Uh-oh. You smell nothing.
Smell nothing.
Perception. Good thing I have a low perception roll.
You sure do.
No.
19. Very nice. Yes. As they talk, you definitely smell the scent of alcohol on both of them, and they both look rumpled and hungover.
I see you've had a Black Boar reunion.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'll drink a lot of water. Don't worry about it.
No, don't drink water. You'll be worse.
God damn it.
I told you. Hey, I told her. All right, I made a special concoction, special
Hair of the Black
restorative
Boar.
potion by ye old Elidor. Yeah, my name's Elidor, and you are Kari,
My
right?
name is Kari. That's right. Nice to meet you.
Right. Likewise. Don't see too many Moonbear clan members in the Fallows.
Yeah, it's a little warm for our tastes.
No, I mean in the Fallows, in the poor district. Usually,
No.
you folk are up there in the rich ones.
I imagine those of us who travel down here are on a more official business. And there's a school there, so I suppose that makes more sense.
That is true. Have you visited?
Not yet. I haven't felt quite homesick enough to go.
By this point, Kanda, who's been like silently watching, his eyes narrow a little, and he says, "Wait, I think I've seen you before, Elidor. Yes. I seem to remember a few reports of unorganized races in the city, and I've seen
And-
a name.
And we're walking, and we're walking. Oh, hey, look, it's the Curtain Call Manor. Let's go. Whee! Pick up the pace.
As Wick pushes Elidor towards the curtain call, Kanda kind of like scrunches his eyes a little bit into little slits and follows them with a suspicious look, but doesn't say anything.
God damn it.
By that point, as you guys reach the doors, you also see on the road from where you came from a very tired from running Ritz is on the way. He looks haggard, like he's been running the entire way, but he is cresting the hill and running down to meet you guys at the doors.
Bog, I'm here. I'm here.
Good morning, Ritz.
Oh, good morning.
Are you dying?
I think I'm gonna throw up.
All right.
Best breath, did you run here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ritz, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
No.
Big nine. Do you want to use the inspiration to not barf, or are we just taking it?
No, we're taking it.
We're taking it. All right.
On Candle's shoes.
Nice. So as he comes over to like gently pat you on the back to soothe your heaving breaths, you just projectile vomit everything that your mom just fed you onto his shoes, and you see like his whole body stiffen. And Kari, you see that he closes his eyes, clearly counts to 10 in his mind, and he says, "Thank you, Ritz. I've missed this. It's been a while.
Oh, sorry, mate. I bet you spent like an hour shining those, didn't you, too?
An hour and a half.
Well, you know, now you can do it all over again. You're welcome.
All right.
You know, I was expecting someone to throw up, but it wasn't you, Ritz. But you always never fail to impress me.
Who was it?
I'm
Yeah.
not pointing any
Legally-
fingers.
No, you gotta tell me if it's me. Legally, you gotta tell me.
Oh, it has to be you. Come on now, Wick. Like,
Oh,
you're the
shut
wimpiest
up.
one. Hey.
You don't know. You don't know what I got.
Oh, what you got? What you got? Come on, show it to me. And they start flexing at each other.
I'm gonna flick him in the nose.
Oh, as he
Well-
flexes at you and like starts playing like his pecs up and down, you flick him. It's like, hey, that's cheating.
Yo, Wick, who's this?
Oh, Ritz, this is Elidor. Elidor, this is Ritz.
Ah,
Oh,
hello there.
hey, you're Elidor.
Yes,
heard a
and
lot
you're
about you.
technically Golden Doe, but not really. Hi.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Ritz winks very obviously at everyone.
well, you know,
That-
Wick's friends of my friends and such.
Wick is just 1,000 yards staring at the floor.
So, Wick, how did you describe Ritz to him? If I'm the cool one, who's Ritz?
Um,
The barfy one, probably.
I
Maybe
don't
now.
remember.
No, strangely, Barf never came up, although it should have, you know.
I
for-
beg
for
to
the
differ.
future.
Yeah.
As all this goes on, Kander is like slightly away with a little handkerchief, trying to clean his shoes as much as he can.
Is there like a little stream or like a river nearby?
Oh yeah, there's of course Tangle Run not far from the curtain call. It is on the bank.
It's like just at the back near the garden.
How far roughly? Like,
A few tens of feet, I'd say.
okay,
Like a
okay,
little
that's not
brisk
Yeah.
walk.
Feet.
Yeah, a few barfy feet. Yeah. As all of you stand, Elidor says, "So, how long do you usually spend on the awkward discussions before the training?"
Oh,
What?
Huh?
another 5 minutes, I don't know.
All
Yeah,
right,
where's
well,
Kova?
Till it gets really awkward, you know.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where is Kova? I thought it was with you, Wick.
I kind of dipped accidentally. He told me to go, but I assumed he would just be. We were supposed to meet back here.
Did he go back to the Blue Heel?
No,
I
we
don't
should.
know.
He's somewhere.
Go
Checked in
up.
on me yesterday.
Does
Come
he
on.
hear them?
yeah, you hear shouting from outside of the manor, and you see Val perk up and says, "Oh, is it time for me to hide?"
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. And he quietly, kind of on the tippy toes, starts going.
He palms him a cold cooked fish while he leaves,
Nice.
and he
Alright.
steps out with a bloody fixed shirt.
Yeah, there's blood on Kova's front, clearly like little bits of thread connecting slashed fabric.
Kova,
Good
what the
morning.
fuck happened?
I ate pasta and it went bad.
That's a lie.
No.
Ritz is gonna walk over and check him out.
Hey!
Is that
Ritz
that
is
tooth
stressed
you
a little
pulled
bit.
out?
Ritz, give me an investigation or medicine, up to you.
Boop, 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 boop.
A 7. Yeah, clearly the blood is quite fresh actually, so it's dried up now, but it's clearly like a couple of hours max. And the slashes, they are pretty like even, clearly done by like a hand or a rake, something like that.
Ritz narrows his eyes at Kova.
I just tripped
Aha.
on a rake.
Yeah, alright.
It's a real
You're all right,
danger in
though.
that building. Yeah, I'm fine.
Elidor perks up and says, "Oh, the tiny, wet, depressed one. I recognize you. Hey."
Eleanor, you gotta learn that you can have an inside voice and an outside voice.
Oh, but
The
you're
tiny,
so
wet,
right.
depressed one.
He does look
You
like
gotta-
a sad little dog. Yeah.
No,
Wick, what have you been saying about us?
this is a nightmare.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm Elidor.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I'm
right?
so nervous to meet you that it all go well.
Oh, was she now? And he's like smugly looking at Wick.
Bubba gives Wick a stink face.
This is
I'm
the fucking best.
sorry. Well, great. We've all met each other. Time to train or something. I don't fucking
What
know.
are you?
Wait,
what
what's
is
that?
that thing?
Yeah, what the fuck? What is that?
Huh? Oh, check this shit out.
Yes, that would be illegal mechanical transportation that has been used in illicit racing. Candace says.
Okay,
like
Candor,
Candor.
This is so cool.
let me have this.
Right? It's fucking cool. That's my hog.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
His name
you-
Iamud.
Yep.
Does it work?
Is it supposed to be square wheeled?
Hey, now, alright, so listen, it used to be fucking fast, but it's seen better days, so we're gonna fix it. And then we're gonna ride it.
Is it a
What?
horse?
It's a metal horse.
It's a horse!
Yeah, it's kind
With
of
the
like
legs
a
spin.
horse, yeah, spinny legs, exactly. They get
Yeah.
it.
Oh my.
Whoa.
We've heard so much about it.
Yeah. Your description was right on the money, Wick.
See?
Wow.
And y'all thought I was making shit up.
How bad?
I would never.
Never.
Not even once. Is the sidecar?
Would never.
Is the sidecar still on it?
Yes. It is
Okay, I'm
bent,
just curious.
but someone like a Kova would fit there, but no one else because it's like bent inwards a little bit. So
Oh.
it needs metal work to be fixed for sure.
I want to see if there's any. I want to find a little carving in it, and see if I can
yeah.
find.
Give me an investigation.
Yeah. See if there are any secret notes. Where are my buttons? Investigation.
Investigation.
Fuck.
8. Okay. So you noticed the spot where you carved a little silly doodle back 10 years ago, but it's barely visible, mostly because the metal has been clearly damaged by something. There are the big grooves on the side, either from a nasty fall or something metal ramming into it. It's unclear.
Yep.
As you do though, El just says, "So, gang's all here. I heard there's some cool training gonna be happening, right?"
Are you gonna train with us?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I think I'm gonna die if you do that.
Okay. That's weird.
I think one punch and I'm gone.
Oh,
Well-
like in sparring and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, are we supposed to be punching each other? Hell fucking
I-
yeah.
No,
Alright,
please
so-
don't.
There will be no contact today.
What? Oh, Corey, I really need to hit something.
Canda looks excited and says, "Yes, we need to discuss safety first, and without proper training, it could be very dangerous."
Oh.
Exactly.
Ritz, you're in no position to punch anything. You just threw everything up.
You threw up?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
he
my-
threw up, and Canda is pointing at his shoes.
He's gonna immediately start walking back to grab the rest of the cold ass dinner from last night.
Nice.
No, it's well. It's
Don't
better
give me
that-
more ammo.
It's better that your stomachs are not full.
Oh.
Oh.
Canda
Alright.
says, "Should we go to the courtyard for this?"
Yeah, yeah. We'll be out in the open.
While they
Alright.
walk, he's gonna stop Ritz for a second.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Ritz?
Yeah.
So, I kind of remember that we were doing this like this morning, and I told Val like an hour, half an hour ago that this is happening. He's hiding now in the theater.
Oh, good shout.
We did talk about the possibility of using the the silver cage at some point, which the guards might have. And Candor
Right.
is a guard guy. Is it smart to like talk to him about Val? Or like
Are you asking me what's smartest to do?
Yes.
Oh, Cova, that was a bad idea.
No.
Well,
he's your friend. You know
Yeah.
him best.
I mean, I think it's safest if Candor don't know about Val, and we just keep him away from each other. But if you think we need the cage, then Candor's the best person to get it for us.
Talk about. Well, should we be making up an excuse of why we need a silver cage?
Like, we need it to check out more evidence. Except, why wouldn't Candor just check out the evidence?
Yeah, maybe for like some weird magic-y thing. That's usually a good excuse.
Yeah, maybe we can say it's like a kink thing.
Oh! Maybe for the bike.
Yeah, we got to keep the bike in a cage so it don't.
Well, I meant like spare parts.
Oh yeah, me too. Definitely. I mean, can we not get a metal cage anywhere else? Like a silver cage from somewhere else? Make one ourselves?
I don't know if we can get a silver cage anywhere else. He told me that bindings aren't really stuff that works. Rope doesn't really seem to hold a werewolf back.
Maybe Elidor has some silver or something.
Do you think we should talk to Elidor about a werewolf guy?
Wait. Scrambles.
Scrambles. How much silver do you think he got?
No, we could say that we need it for scrambles.
Oh, to keep him in the cage.
To keep him in the cage.
Is he gonna ask us why we need a silver? Should we tell him that Scrambles?
Yeah, Scrambles got bit by a werewolf. Yeah. This is the perfect plan. We've come with the perfect plan. God, we're so smart.
We're so smart. Okay, great.
So, as the two of you hang back, you finally find the genius plan to make nothing will go wrong. And as you catch up with the rest, you're all in the courtyard, ready to train. And that's where we're gonna take a short break.
Yeah!
So,
Holy shit.
Holy shit. As the crew and their friends find themselves in the courtyard of the Curtain Call Manor, Kari, what are we doing?
So today, we'll be breathing. The first thing I learnt up in the mountains was the breath.
Ritz puts his hand up.
Yes.
I already know how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't.
No, I'll show you. It's easy. I've been doing it my whole life.
You are breathing. Yes, that's not what I mean.
Well, what do you mean?
Your breath is the center. It's what we use to take in the oxygen around us. And with that, we can center ourselves. So I will show you a method of breathing. When the world moves too fast, it will help you remain still and remain focused.
Ritz puts his hand up again. I already know how to stay still.
I
don't know. Not staying still. Jittering all over the place.
Ritz, you haven't stopped moving since the first day I met you. And this is now the 13th day.
I feel like I could if I tried, though.
You need to stop moving.
You could if you trained.
All right. Kicks at the ground a little bit.
Kiki's like, before we begin, Kova, could I have a quick word?
Yes.
Oh, you're in trouble.
And she'll kind of like step a bit away from the group.
Otto
is well, take it. Val isn't joining us.
No, I told him to hide for now because I knew Candor was coming, and now Elidor is here too. And I talked to Ritz about it, and he said that probably not a good idea for Elidor to like meet Val. But I also think I talked to Val about the cage. The silver cage.
Sure. That's okay. That's okay. Is he somewhere close enough for us to be heard?
Probably. He's got pretty good ears.
That is true. I'll just have to speak loud enough then.
If you need, I can. No, I don't have a token anymore.
Never mind. Spend it.
Well, if you know where he is, you can tell him that he's welcome to join, or at least participate wherever he is.
Do you want me to yell?
Well, if you yell, then the others will hear you, right?
I suppose so. I could go tell him, but I don't know how to tell the group that I'm going in for. What do I say?
You can just say that you
I got
got something.
pee.
Yeah.
All right.
If that works.
For the sake of brevity, we'll skip forward. Kova mentions
Sure.
he finds Val, mentions that there's going to be a training
Yeah.
session, and Val is hiding on the second floor, so he just opens one of the windows to hear what's happening within the courtyard, and then Kova is back.
So to start, I'll just go through the actual breathing. They'll be very quick. It is 15 continuous breaths. With each inhale, if you can, tighten your core, your ab muscles. Once we do this 15 times, these are continuous. So fully in, fully out. Your chest expands as you take in oxygen and completely deflates as you take out. After we do 15 of these, we'll do a 30-second hold, where we hold our breaths. Then, at the end of it, a breath to release any remaining oxygen, one shallow breath, and then a calm meditation.
As the sun is rising over the courtyard in Curtain Manor, Kova, Ritz, Wick, Kari, Kanda, and Elidor are all sitting on the grass, and as Kari takes you guys through the steps of breathing, you all close your eyes and just feel the moment, feel the air move through your hair as it happens.
We cannot control the universe. We cannot stop the world around us, and its speed may overwhelm us at times. But we must move with it. You are all beings of fire, and within us lies a roaring flame, a furnace. For one of you, that is far beyond metaphor. And a fire not fed is at risk to the elements. A fire that burns too hot can also destroy you. But the breath will teach you to balance this flame. I know the intensity that drives many of you, feeling strong enough to strangle the grief and the pain. Sometimes we hold on to these feelings so that the memory of those we lost will remain, even when it becomes a poison in your veins as you relive these moments, wishing you could have done something differently. We all have something within us to overcome. For me, it is my guilt, my shame. It outweighs my anger. But for some of you, that might be different. Rage, fear, shame, guilt, attachment, control, freedom, selflessness. Whatever drives your flame chaotically, use the silence of this moment, the silence that follows the breath. Find what is within you and begin to face it. If it does not serve you, let it go. You are all stronger and braver than you know and believe. And once you can begin to face those troubles within you, you will become exceptional.
So, Wick, we'll start with you.
Oh.
How do you feel?
It's a bit ironic for Wick to finally be focusing on the literal fire that has been fueling them and also hurting them for so long. They feel pretty fuzzy. I think probably like a little bit tingly in their fingers, and suddenly like, oh, yeah, there's that. I do have a fire in me, kind of a thing, and you see that they're just kind of like jaw slack, kind of looking towards the ground, like, oh.
All right. For the first time in a while, you feel the vibrations of the fire and the rumbling from your furnace go very calm. Not in a way that risks extinguishing the flame, but just like a soft ebb and flow of the fire within you. Almost like a pulse that is slowing down, and with each beating of it, you feel a wave of warmth reach to the tips of your fingers. Ritz,
Whoa.
how do you feel?
Ooh. Ritz, there's an unease that he's feeling that goes beyond everything that's going on for him at home at the minute, beyond even what's happening with his Uncle Wiles. And it's an unease that he's been feeling since he set out this morning for Curtain Call. It was there when his feet were pounding against the cobblestones on the way. It was there when he stepped into the early morning light of the courtyard. And it's taken sitting down and having that space of clarity for him to realise what it is that is giving him such a sense of dread in the pit of his stomach. And as he sits there at Curtain Call, training in the early morning, he realises, and it hits him like a gut punch, that this is just like that day. It's just like that day. It's exactly the same. And he just can't focus on anything else.
As the wind rustles in your hair, you can almost hear it bring bright laughter of a friend. And your ears twitch a little as you try to focus on reality. But you swear somewhere on the wind you hear laughter and Ash's voice. Kova, how do you feel?
He's not sure if it's lack of sleep or disassociation or maybe that it worked, but there's a strange neutrality in his sitting there. His brow is no longer knitted. He's no longer looking very worried and skittish. He's realizing, ironically, how much this sounds like the speech he gave Val, and was very aware in the moment that wasn't just a Val. So being faced with that in a more direct way now, it's sort of leaving him with the same feeling that he gets when he's able to prepare for an interaction again. He's able to take control of something. So there's that sort of, it's not quite masking, but it is that sort of neutral, sort of ready for whatever is to come expression. Not quite determined, but more so just calm.
Mm-hmm. As you focus, you hear the whooshing of the water of the Tangle Run behind you as it flows through the city, and you feel your body almost weightless in the similar way as if floating on the water, and the feeling cradles you and soothes the frayed nerves that went through so much recently. Kari, give me insight.
Ooh. Roll more than an 8.
A 13, alright. So as you watch the faces of your friends kind of even out and you see calm expressions on them, Kanda is clearly trying way too hard. You see his brows are knitted together. He is kind of biting the edge of his mouth a little bit, and you see he's like either clearly hyper aware of his limbs because his fingers twitch a little bit at the time, and you see him frown again and try to get out of it, but he clearly is thinking way too hard, and it is getting in his way. Elidor is asleep, and by the end of your meditation, he snores loud enough that he wakes himself up, and he's like, oh, yes, good exercise.
You're doing great, Elidor.
Thanks. Love it.
Kari will just stride calmly behind Kendor and just give him a little like scratch to the back of his head. A very calming, something you do to a child or to a family member, and just tell him, Kendor, it's okay. You don't need to force anything. Just be. There is
Kari-
no failure here.
Please give me a wisdom check.
A wisdom check.
Oh.
So it wouldn't be persuasion. We'll make it go with wisdom. 14. That's good. So as you softly speak to him and your hand is on the back of his neck, you see his shoulders kind of relax, and he is trying his best to follow the directions. Clearly it doesn't come naturally to him, and perhaps that is also something that he's struggling with, the fact that he's not succeeding immediately. But you see him try, and he's listening to the best of his ability.
Yeah. I'll just say a quick word and add, don't worry. I was exactly the same as you are right now. The first time I did it. Just take in the air, the sounds, focus on the world around you. You'll pick this up in no time.
He nods a little bit, and as the time passes, you all open your eyes, and for now it is done.
Whoa.
It wasn't what I expected, but it was nice.
That was really cool. I feel more stable, I guess. Is that stupid?
No, that's good. That's exactly what's intended. And I'm glad to see some of you are able to relax even more, looking at Elidor.
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
How's Ritz looking?
Oh, he's great.
Hey, Ritz, give me a deception check with disadvantage.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Whoa, one of those is a 20, Jim.
Oh, well, if only that mattered. 13 is not that bad, though. Call for
Yeah.
Wick and Kari. Give me an insight.
Damn it.
Better.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
I see.
You got it.
Something.
So I see. So it's a 9, an 8, and a 17. All right. So Wick, he's clearly perturbed by something, but you can't really tell much about it. Kari, he is clearly overcome with emotion and sadness, which is strange for Ritz. He's looking at the roofs around you, and he's trying to kind of look nonchalant, but it's not working very well.
She'll walk up to Ritz, and I don't know, based on his garbs, if something like his necklace is exposed. But I'll focus on
Yeah,
him
he'll
right
have that
now.
underneath his shirt.
Yeah. She'll just calmly pop her palms like to your cheeks, give a little squish.
Hey, Kari.
You in there?
Yep.
Present?
Yep.
You doing okay?
Yep.
I'll assume that's a no. But you can tell us when you're ready.
He blinks at you and tilts his head a bit. I think that's probably the first time you've kind of let him off. And you can see there's like an appreciation
Mhm.
behind his eyes.
Your breath smells.
Oh.
Of
Yeah, well,
barf.
Dad's not the great at, he's not the greatest at cooking, so
Well, I was meaning the vomit from earlier, but
it don't help.
I'll make sure to not eat your father's cooking.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea.
Yeah, maybe we'll. You know what? We have a Kovo. He can
Yeah.
get him to cook a feast. I'm sure. How was your time with your family?
Oh, it was great. They're great. They're always great. They're the best.
Yeah.
hmm
How's Grandma?
She's active. I mean, she's good. She's doing great.
Yeah.
Good. Then she's not taking any of your answers at face value, but just sort of like keeping you talking.
She's learned.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's training done. And now
Whoa.
breakfast, food.
Oh.
Not again.
Get the campfire going.
Oh, actually, about that, Candace picks up. So this morning, me and Kari investigated someone breaking into your room, Reitsenkova.
What?
What?
Oh, yes.
What?
That is true. Thank you for reminding me.
I don't even have anything in there.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
curious thing. I don't think someone was there to rob you.
What were they gonna do?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. If we are thinking of breakfast, maybe we can, combine the two. We could visit the Blue Hill, and you guys can look at the room and see if anything was added. I suspect that someone planted something, perhaps.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's go! And he
I think
claps his
we-
hands. He's happy to be given a mission, something to take his mind off everything.
Yeah,
Oh.
we also have extra news to share with you, but we'll wait till we get there.
Are we gonna return here? There's a big metal thing in the.
Oh yeah, we're staying over here to
Yeah.
work on this shit.
I have some. I gotta. I'll be pretty busy for the next couple of days.
Okay.
Okay, Kova's gonna give you a glance, Wick, and then glance to the theater, and then glance back at you.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, you
Oh.
sure?
No, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Cool. Okay. I'll trust you.
Did
You
you
guys-
say you were gonna race that thing?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Holy
let's
shit.
not go ahead of ourselves too much. First, we gotta fix it,
Oh.
but don't worry, we wait. So
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
good.
you've eaten and slept, so
yep, sure did.
Don't wait
Yeah.
up for us.
Gonna give you a guidance before he leaves.
Aw.
Doesn't it last for a minute?
fast. Yep.
Oh.
Nice,
Ritz will copy whatever Kova did.
nice. As Kari, Kanda, Kova, and Ritz start heading out, Elidor kind of leans towards you and says, "Your friends are fucking weird."
Well. Yeah. I don't know what you expected from me. I always attract the freaks.
Hey, what does that fucking mean?
You know what it means.
Ah,
And she
true.
elbows him.
Yeah, a little bit of roughhousing, and unless there's anything specific you guys want to discuss on the road, we'll skip forward a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Ooh, time
Wick, Wick will come back to you a bit later. You guys are
Yes,
going to be working on the bike for a while
Guidance.
with a guidance that lasts a minute. Very
Yay.
rich, very
Quick,
rich.
immediate.
Quick. Yeah. While you guys are going through the city towards the Blue Hill, though, I would like all of you to give me a perception check.
Guidance on myself.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't think Kova would know that it is something that is happening, so it's
Okay,
just
then
a
we're
passive
looking
thing of how
I will
aware you guys
gonna use my my whatever it is.
Your
Inspiration.
Yeah,
Inspiration.
cool.
That's the thing.
Whatever that fucking is.
Oh no.
What?
Okay. Well, it's a one improvement.
Hey,
It's above
nice.
average.
Nice. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. All right. So, as you guys are going through the city, and Kanda kind of explains what Kari and him found, you do guys notice something, a bit of a commotion around the Hard Square, and you see that It is morning now, and it is not uncommon for people to gather in this place. However, there's more people than you thought there would be at this time, and you clearly see a procession in the center. Some group is going towards the center of the square through the Bard's Row. Let's see what you have. 11, 20, 19. Okay. So you guys see a procession of people who are throwing petals in the air, and you see that all of them are smiling, laughing, and cheering, and pointing at something on the road.
Isn't it a bit early for the flower festival?
Oh, what's going on?
As you guys elbow your way a little bit forward, Ritz, you kind of the first to weasel your way in between people, and you see that through the main road, a few riders on majestic bucks are going through the city, waving and smiling at people. You know from the sounds of people mumbling and screaming around you that it's the Gilded Grail coming back from their hunt.
Yo, guys!
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, V.
No, go on.
Guys, it's the Grail! It's the Grail, they're back!
Whoa.
Wick, maybe we can ask them about
Wick
whether
is-
they got the dragon or not.
Look, it's not here.
Wick's not here! Corey!
Are you
Corey! Ritz looks around for Wick and then remembers she's not there. It's like, oh. Corey, maybe we can ask him about the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make it up to them. Might as well try.
All right, so as you guys get through the crowd, you hear people say, "Oh, it's them. They came back from the mine. Did they defeat the dragon? Oh, I sure hope so. Look at them. Is that the brooches made of dragon scale?" And indeed, you see that the people that stride in, 4 riders, each is wearing a black dragon scale as a brooch on their chest as they go through. And the faces you see are befitting a group that is clearly taken as the heroes and adventurers of the realm. All 4 are beautiful, smiling, triumphant. At the head of the procession, you see a knight. He is in a gleaming plate armor, golden locks falling onto his pauldrons as he waves magnanimously at the crowd. He catches a thrown handkerchief from one of the young ladies in the crowd and smiles at her as he brings it to his mouth for a soft kiss. You hear a young lady next to you faint, and her friends squeal and grab her under the armpits to keep her from falling onto the ground. At the same time, you see right next to him, if a bit behind him, a handsome young halfling, clearly a bard, with a lute, his curly black hair framing a smiling face as he plucks at the strings and smiles at the crowd with a saucy wink here and there. The music that you start hearing is clearly from his soft lute playing, and you can see some of the petals fall on his shoulders and give him a very cherubic kind of appearance. And right behind the knight, you also see a squire. The outfit is very similar to what Kanda actually wears, because Kanda is dressed mostly like a squire. The only difference is this young half-elf is wearing a thin golden diadem that looks a little bit like deer horns, and he is smiling at the people around them a little bit bashfully, clearly not used to the attention. And Ritz, your heart gives a painful thud. You recognize that face. It's Ash, smiling from his beautiful steed, taken as a hero by the people around him.
No way. Ritz
Behind, yes?
goes completely still for the first time ever. It's like he's completely frozen.
He looks like a picture from a fairy tale. A beautiful hero, young and unafraid, taking the laurels of his victory as you see the black scale gleaming on his chest. He smiles at the people. He doesn't notice you in the crowd. How could he? There's so many people cheering. He is following the footsteps of their leader. You see him smiling and waving to a few folk, but there's a blush on his cheeks. He's clearly not as comfortable about the warm welcome as the night before him. There is
Ritz
a fourth
is gonna
person.
start trying to follow along with them, so he can keep his eyes glued onto Ash's face.
Yeah. Ritz starts kind of peeling away from you guys, hypnotized, following the group. Kova and Kari, you notice the fourth rider that someone clearly Ritz does not care for at this point, but you recognize them. It's a young human woman with her red hair cut pretty neatly just below her ears and a blue tunic on her. It is the mage that you fought in the forest with the werewolf.
Oh my god.
She is clearly holding a staff in a little satchel behind her back, and she is smiling a bit more reserved than the people in front of her. But that is the four riders that go through the city, lauded as heroes for defeating the Black Dragon.
Holy shit.
I'm conflicted.
I don't like this.
That's a night. That's pretty cool.
As the riders reach the Heart Square, the young halfling jumps off of his deer right on the edge of the fountain, and with one hand holding the lyre, he extends the other towards the crowd and says, "My dear Ensvalians, we are back. Your heroes are triumphant." And he is holding the black scale on his chest, and people are cheering, applauding, and he says, "Yes, yes, many a song shall be made of the moment of our fight. It was, of course, a gruesome battle, and you will hear all about it in my next few songs. But before that, we must all give our applause to our fearless leader, Sir Hywel." And everyone cheers, and the knight in the gleaming pauldrons kind of turns around the fountain and does a little circle, bowing his head like a maestro after an orchestral performance. And the young bard strikes a beautiful chord on his lute and says, "Well, myself and my dear compatriots will be having a feast in the Blue Heel. And please, whoever joins us, the first drink is on us." And people cheer. And with the triumphant circle around the fountain, they start heading, and the procession behind him, towards the Blue Heel.
Where's Ritz?
Ritz is gone. Ritz is fighting through the crowd to try and get to Ash.
Ritz.
Ritz, give me an athletics check.
Oh.
20. That's very good.
Damn.
Drawn like
Yeah.
a magnet, you are just elbowing through the crowd. People are cheering. You see little petals fall, and sometimes they cover your vision, and you panic for a second, but you push through, getting closer and closer to Ash.
Yeah, he'll do whatever he has to get there, whether it's climbing over shit, going up the side of buildings. But he's trying to get to Ash so he can reach him and grab his arm.
All right. As you reach towards the front of the crowd, you kind of push some people aside. They grumble, but you do not hear. And you are in the hand's reach of the tall buck and the side of Ash's leg.
Ash! Ash!
In the sounds of the crowd, you can see here, looks around a little bit, and for a second his eyes catch on you. You see his eyes go wide for a moment, and then he frowns a little, looks at what you're wearing, and says, "Yes, let's proceed, sir," and turns away. The knight in
Ritz
front of him
crumples into himself completely, suddenly
Then-
realizing what he looks like right now.
Yeah, with bits of bile on your clothing, with your rumpled appearance, you look like a beggar next to a beautiful hero. And as Ash turns towards his leader, Sir Hywel says, "Well, of course, young Ash, we are on the way for your first feast. You're old enough, I'm sure." And he says, "Yes, of course, sir. It will be my pleasure." And they are leaving towards the Blue Hill.
He's still trying to find Ritz.
Kova, give me a perception check.
Ooh. Perception.
Can I assist Kova by giving him a boost?
What kind of boost are you giving him?
An on the shoulders kind of boost.
Puppies.
Oh, appies. Sure, Kova, give me a advantage one.
Ooh.
Oh, 23, yes. So Kari puts you on her shoulders, and over the crowd, you do see Ritz grabbing at the young squire of the procession. And the moment between them is extremely short. You see a conflicted look on the young half-elf's face, but as he turns back to answer the question of his superior, you see Ritz just stop. And as the procession moves, people kind of push at Ritz a little bit. His shoulders are hit once and once again, and he just stands there alone and very small.
Kova's gonna take a coin out of his pouch and cast light on it and wave it around, trying to get Ritz's attention.
Ritz, do you see anything?
I don't think he does in this moment.
Kari, he's out of it.
Let's go to him. The support he needs.
Yeah.
I've
All
never
right.
seen him so still.
You guys muscle your way through the crowd, and it is not as difficult anymore because most of it is following the four riders towards the Blue Hill. Kanda is still with you, a little bit confused over this, just silently following. But as you get to Ritz, you see a devastated look on his face.
Ritz, are you okay? Who was that?
Let's just go.
You want to
Can
go
we just go?
to the Blue Hill?
You guys go to the Blue Hill.
Wait, where are you going?
I got something to take care of.
Okay, he's gonna tug off some hair. He's gonna palm it your hand. Just don't think about it, but just stay safe. Okay?
Sure. Catch you later.
You will.
And he'll
yeah.
just walk off.
Okay.
Ritz, where are you going?
He's going to the Tangle Run, to his favourite spot in the city, where his favourite ghosts are. And he's gonna wait till he's out of sight and just drop the hair.
All right. So, you guys see Ritz just on stiff legs turn the corner and disappear. The sounds of the cheering getting quieter and quieter. And Candace says, "Is he all right?"
No, I don't know.
I've never seen him.
Well, I think if you guys want to learn about what happened in the mine, we should probably go to the Blue Hill, although it is up to you.
Is it like okay? Is it like am I the only one that thinks it's weird to wear dragon scales?
It doesn't seem like they've done the job.
Dragons are
No.
sentient, right? Like talkative, right? Are they? They always talk in the stories.
Not sure, to be honest.
They don't seem very. They seem very boastful
Exactly.
and weird. And also that lady.
Yeah, she was the mage from the forest.
Yeah.
Didn't the Gilded Grail already set off for the travels before we even arrived to the city? How is she
Also-
with them?
She almost lost to us. There's no way we can defeat a dragon.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Kando, does this seem like a investigation you'll be interested in?
I mean, I don't know. The Grail is a very respected adventuring party. They've had plenty of proven deeds that helped the city. Some time ago, there was a giant roaming the farms, and they drove him into the forest. It was very impressive. As for the
Wait, a
dragon,
giant?
yes, a hill giant, I think.
Oh,
What?
I think we met that hill giant. He's
You
like a
did?
nice person.
Oh, he looked very impressive from far away, and Sir Hywell assured us that he bested the creature without even taking his sword out of the scabbard. He said
Yeah,
it
because
scared
he's a
him
nice
good.
guy.
Oh,
What? What kind of knight would do that?
I don't. He looks confused and says, "Well, if the giant was roaming the farms, he needed to be driven away, right?"
Well, if I walk past a farm, I'm not driven away.
Yes, but you do not trample all the vegetation or scare the animals. It's
Well, then just talk to the guy. This is insanity.
in any case. If they have the scales, they must have defeated the dragon. We might be able to talk to them in the Blue Hill. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people wanting to do that, though.
Kando,
Yes.
sorry. Do you know where Ritz may have gone? I presume you know his usual spots.
Well,
I could check.
before this, I would have assumed that Curtain Call is where he goes, but I do not think it's likely right now.
Cove would probably try and see through the token.
Okay. As you look through the token, you see just dirty cobble street, just in the middle of nowhere on the road. Clearly, Ritz is not with the token.
He dropped it. I can't find him.
Perhaps he does not want to be found then.
But what if he's not safe?
I don't think... Ritz is never safe. Let's start there, but he can take care of himself. I think he is affected by something, of what I do not know. I had no idea he had any personal dealings with the Gilded Grail.
This is so confusing.
I don't want to leave him alone, but he may need his space. We've pushed him enough, and he's been very open with us.
Yeah.
We'll give him some time.
Yeah. Should we? I mean, I can check the room for us, but are we sure we want to do that now with all of these people there?
Well, so long as they're not bothering us. But we could wait. If there's anything missing, that won't change. And if we're not in the room and someone is spying on us, then they'll see nothing, right? So
I mean, to be honest, I also kind of want to eavesdrop on them. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
no,
don't trust them, like, at all.
I agree. We need to spend our time there.
Yeah. I know I say that, like, every person we meet at this point. I don't think I'm a very trusting fellow, but this is weirder than normal.
No, yeah, your suspicions are correct. I think you being nosy is helpful for once.
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
All right. Kanda and Kova and Kari go towards the Blue Heel Tavern, clearly full of people, laughter, and loud sounds. Wick, you are safely back in the curtain call, enjoying the morning sun as Elidor starts taking you through the little parts and bits that make up Earmud.
Yay.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. Boy. 16.
16, not bad. So as the hours go by, with a few little hand-drawn diagrams and a lot of pointing and unhooking bits and bobs, you together kind of spread the parts of the bike on the grass in front of you, and he starts explaining how different things work. And he looks kind of a little impressed by the fact that you pretty quickly start picking up on what every part does, and by the shape and how they connect. In your mind, you start making connections on what each part does. And the things that felt so mysterious before that moment start slowly but surely clicking into place in your mind.
Whoa. This is good.
This will take a few hours, so is there anything that you would want to say or do in that time?
Well, I did realize, through this, probably Wick would be like, I don't know, are they like fixing the bike or are they just pointing and learning?
So right now you are disassembling the bike and taking stock of what parts there are
okay.
and what parts you need to fix later. So this is kind of like bike structure 101.
101. You know, Elidor, while we were doing the little meditation thing that you took a little nap in.
Yeah? I mean,
I realized-
I was obviously awake for the whole thing. I listened to fucking like a hawk, yeah.
Like a hawk, you had such good attention and no snoozing.
Yep.
During that, I realized I don't really know if I've told you about this whole situation. She knocks on the furnace plate.
Oh yeah, I did notice it looked a bit different.
Yeah, it's new. It's so Osmi probably knows more than I do. Because my memory's kind of shot. But she, after we made it to a safe place, she figured out how to get it stable. This whole meditation thing made me realize I don't know if I've felt stable since I was little. And even then, I don't know, I can't remember what that felt like. But it wasn't the first attempt we had done to try to patch it up. It was a rough healing process.
So it's now fixed and everything?
Well, she pulled some magic shit. So she's kind of like a cleric now. She tells me that it's her choice, but I kind of feel as though she had no other choice taking care of me.
You think she became one to save you?
I wouldn't count that out. But something she did, it was something no one else could do. I don't know if it was the fact that it had to be, I don't know, fire genasi compatible, fireproof, you know, other healing just wasn't sticking. And now, I don't know, I'm kind of curious. I never asked her what she did. I don't really know what she knows. If she knows more than me. I mean, she's obviously really smart. She's...
Yeah. I mean, the
read-
brains of the pair, yeah, of course.
Huh?
You heard me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, here's my question, Wick. This is just something I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Why did you come here alone?
I didn't want to put her in a position like that again. I think. As much as I say, I don't know why I came here. There's a deeper part of me that knows, and I don't know what I would do if I put her in harm's way like that again. I know she's competent and strong and able to handle herself, but I just haven't been able to let go of it. And you know, part of me wonders if she does know more than I do. I don't know.
Look.
Yeah.
The way I see it is that you two have always stuck together. There was no separating the two. And it always felt like you were strongest together. You know? Like two parts of one engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird of you to not trust her capabilities. Not to take her with. She might be feeling abandoned, I don't know. It's weird to see you alone.
It feels weird. I don't think what I'm doing is a good idea. I don't think it was smart to leave her behind. I mean, she knows I'm here. She knows I'm seeing you. It's just, you know, maybe she has other things she wants to do without having to look out for me. Maybe she feels like she can go do her own thing now. Maybe... God, it's stupid.
Yeah, it is. Because as far as I fucking know, Osmi's favorite thing to do is looking after you. You're not a burden, you know?
But how do you know that?
Because
All
I
I've
fucking
been-
saw you two together. I'm not blind, kid. You might think that she saved your life, but you saved her just as much.
I don't want to rope anyone else into my bullshit.
Well, too fucking late. She's already part of your bullshit. So am I. So are the idiots that we just met, you know? We're all part of the same bullshit. We can't get away from it, nor do we want to. It's... The wise thing is not keeping out of the bullshit. The wise thing is choosing whose bullshit you'll stick with, who's worth it. And you're worth it. Don't forget it.
Yeah, you got a point.
I always do. And he gives you a one-armed hug.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, now back to work.
Yep.
the two of you
Anyway,
start-
this thingamajig goes here, and then
Yep. Yep, you get it. And the two of you start piecing things together and making a very lengthy list of all the things that would have to be fixed for
God.
Eamud to work again. Ritz, you are on a little abandoned bank of the Tangle Run under one of the bridges. It's not a place that anyone visits. It's a place that only you visit sometimes. And as you sit and watch the water, you notice a couple of little bubbles rise to the surface, and the same young drowned woman's ghost that you saw many times appears. She never talks, but somehow she always knows when you visit, and you see her pale face rise from the water and regard you with a sad smile.
Hey, Lily. What's up? How have you been?
She inclines her head a little bit, and it's strange to see a ghost floating in the water. It's like her body has a memory, and that's stuck to the spirit. You see her hair translucent, but it's still floating on the surface. You see her fingers trail through the waves as she looks at you.
Ritz will take his shoes off and shuffle forward and dangle his feet into the water and then put a hand out.
She floats closer and inclines her head to your palm, kind of nuzzling it. You feel a cold, chilling touch of something not alive, something barely material. But you see her face kind of smile at you, almost giving comfort from something that has no comfort to give.
He tries his best to smile back, but it doesn't quite make its way onto his face. You're looking good. Things have been kind of hard. I missed you guys when I was gone. And he fishes into his side bag and he brings out a small piece of jewelry that he holds between his hands, like it's something delicate, like it's a small bird or something that he doesn't want to crush or hold too tightly in case he ruins it. And it's like a small headpiece with one broken antler on a golden chain.
You see the ghost look closer at the small object in your hand, her translucent fingers tracing the edge, the piece that is clearly broken off from something. It is marred by time and damage, but it still gleams in the sunlight.
He used to be real beautiful, but I fucked it up just like I fuck everything else up. I saw him again. He's back. First time in a long time I've seen him. I don't know, like... Maybe a part of me was hoping that the last time it was a mistake. You know, like maybe I remembered it wrong. Maybe he'd be happy to see me. Maybe he'd have some kind of reason for not reaching out or dropping by. An explanation. I was an idiot. Should have seen the way he looked at me. He really does hate me. Thinks I'm nothing.
For a moment, the ghost disappears under the water, but then she comes back and smiles at you silently, and in her translucent fingers you see a little piece of seaweed, a long one like a ribbon, and she softly starts putting it around the broken part of the antler jewelry, as if putting a bandage on it.
You're sweet. I wish it was as easy to fix relationships or people. But we all gotta live in the mess we made, right? I need to realise things ain't gonna change. Nothing's a fairy tale, nothing's gonna work out. I need to stop taking stupid risks, thinking things are gonna work out. I need to remember who I am. It's not about helping people. I've just got to get the money. It's in the name, innit, Ritz? That's what's important now. And as he looks up into her eyes, there's a small spark that's been ever present in him that dampens down and goes out a little bit.
She just looks at you, as she always does. You hear carriages and people walking across the bridge on top. No one can see you, and no one would care to look.
He looks up at them and smiles. That's why we're the same, eh? You and me down here where people can't see us.
You see her nod, and slowly with a smile, the drowned ghost disappears under the water.
I see you though. And Ritz will put the necklace away and sit for a few more minutes. And then he'll get up and dust himself off. And he's going to make his way back to the square. And he's not going to go near the blue heel, but he'll sit on the fountain and just wait for the others.
Okay. At that time, Kova, Kari, and Kanda make their way into the tavern. The place is clearly full of life and celebration. People are smiling and laughing. The drinks are poured generously, and you see the halfling tavern owner is overjoyed to see such a crowd brought in by the adventurers. The Gilded Grail are sitting at the center around a table that is filled to the brim with food and drinks, and you see the halfling bard is standing with one leg on the chair and playing a tune and singing a song, and it is a song of their latest adventure. You hear him describe the fearless swings of the sword of Sir Hywel. You hear him talk about the electrifying magic and arcane prowess of their new mage friend. He mentions his own wit with which he's cut a dragon down to size and hurt his ego. And he mentions the young squire bravely standing side by side with the knight and shooting arrow after arrow at the beast. The place is quite busy. There is no like tables free for you guys to sit at.
In the mingling of the crowds, while everyone's probably distracted with this bard, who wants to try casting a spell?
Okay.
He'd like to cast See Evil and Good.
Okay. All right.
We'll try not to make it very apparent.
All right. So remind me, please, what it gives you.
Let's show it in the... Yeah, I think it does not show. Click it.
Click it.
Click it. Click it. There you go.
All right.
So yeah, you can see consecrated and desecrated items, and you can see aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
You see none of that. You see absolutely none of that.
No consecrated and desecrated items either.
Nope.
Interesting. He's gonna wave it away. He's gonna drop concentration as soon as he sees nothing's going on.
No one seems to pay attention because everyone's faces are turned towards the Gilded Grail. People are dancing and laughing. You see a gaggle of young women try to catch the eyes of the bard and the squire, but it's a lot of people just being happy.
Ander,
Yes?
how long have these people been famous for?
Sir Hybel established Gilded Grail, I think about 15 years ago. He has been an adventurer as far as I remember, as far as I've been in the city. As for his crew, they change sometimes. I know that the bard, Callum, has been an active adventurer and has been singing the praises of Sir Hywel for the last 5 years at least.
See. So he's really just the face of it.
Sir Hywel is the owner of the fortress and the leader of the group. The young squire with him, I do not know his name, but he has been recently seen with him as far as I know. The woman is very new to me.
It's a bit weird for an adventuring party to be made out of 2 new people.
Well,
Yeah,
adventurers
two
die
old.
sometimes.
Boh.
Yeah, there used to be a dwarf with a mallet that worked side by side with Sir Hywel. I do not remember his name, but he was quite powerful and brave, but he died some time ago. I think they were fighting something like a strange lizard-looking bird that could turn people into stone. And, well, ironic end for a dwarf, but he never recovered, and Sir Hywel grieved, I think.
Something's just off.
Why?
I don't know. They're so proud and loud and wearing their spoils on their clothes and singing their own praises. Knights are supposed to be chivalrous and just, and they do it for the good of the people. And this is just a show. It seems this is. And Ritz seeing that guy and being upset. And the lady who tried to kill me, and the others.
Wait, hold on. What? She tried to what?
Yeah.
We fought that mage before we reached the city.
Did she attack
They
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she told someone that I should not be saved. So there was a werewolf, and she was tying him up, and this was to do with the giant because they stole the giant's sheep. Big Boy, the name is of the giant. He was a very nice guy. And so we were trying to retrieve the sheep, and upon doing so, we found these people who were being apparently mean to this giant, and they were tying up this guy who was turning into a werewolf. So we tried to talk to them. I stepped forward. It went bad. The werewolf got loose, and then she told the leader of the group that this would be a good opportunity for the werewolf to, I don't know, blow off steam or get blood or whatever. It was quickly over. I was on the floor in an instant, so I didn't really know what else happened after that, but she wasn't keen on helping me in the slightest.
I see. Well, that sounds like a harrowing experience. I don't really know what happened there, but maybe the situation looked differently to her. Here's what I can tell you, Kova. As far as I am aware, Sir Hywell has been a valiant knight protecting Ennersval in ways that sometimes the guards cannot afford. Sometimes when things get dire and we hear of strange monsters roaming about, getting too close to Ennersval, we cannot interfere, but they can. As for boastfulness, it rubbed me the wrong way first as well. When we got to Ennersval for the first time, so much focus was on bards and pretty speeches that I felt like everything was very surface level. It was not genuine, but I've learned since that the Golden Doe spirit is a spirit of art, and its beauty is a highly moral endeavor. I cannot say for any bard, but as far as I understand, these praises serve two purposes: exalting the spirit and gathering fame and fortune to support adventurers. Having a keep is not cheap, and they get sponsors sometimes, people to pay them for their deeds. I'm sure you probably had the same experience,
Right.
maybe not to the same scale,
There's
but
kids. Probably. It's just, besides that, the two cases of what they've been doing so far, the giant that we met, who turned out to just be a nice person to talk to and
are
just
you
needed
sure it's the same
his-
giant?
It was a hill giant that we later then discovered this same woman that's in this party having had problems with. I don't know many hill giants, literally just the one guy, but it would be a strange coincidence.
He lowers his voice a little and says, "Do you want me to look into her background? Maybe Sir Hywell does not know about her previous dealings with werewolves and such."
I don't want you to get into trouble, Candor.
It's not going
This
to be
is-
trouble.
this
They
seems-
are public figures.
Yeah, but if she's in league with the Crimson Wolf, they're dangerous, as far as I've noticed so far, and I don't think you should get involved with that.
Well, looking at the clasp on her cloak, this looks like a Silver Trout member, so things can't be that difficult, no?
If you can get anything surface level, I'm not gonna stop you, but don't try digging too far, okay?
Sure.
The other thing I was wondering is, how does a dragon end up there? It's a black dragon, right? Where do those hail from? I've never heard of. Are dragons common in the Empire?
No, I do not believe they are common anywhere. Dragons are solitary, magnificent creatures. Well, some of them, I've heard, make their way to society and even pretend to be some of us.
That's what I mean. They're sentient. Well, animals are sentient too, but they're capable of speech with people. Isn't it a bit immoral to wear their body parts?
I do not know. I think bandits can be seen as sentient, but I would not stay my hand from killing one if that was saving someone else.
Yeah, true, but you're not gonna wear a finger bone from them on your cloaks, like...
I may not, but orcs will. Listen,
I haven't met many
it's a
of them.
question of culture, and take it from someone who had to live in a stranger's land for quite a few years. Questioning things is healthy as long as you do not offend someone else's tradition and culture. It does not go well, and sometimes you make a fool of yourself by not knowing the deeper meaning of things. I will agree with you that it is strange that a woman that you met in those horrible circumstances is welcomed into the party so quickly. Do not know if she lied to them or they somehow know yet forgave her, but I will look into it.
How did she travel so quick?
Well, looks like she's a mage now. Those have teleportations and such.
True.
But why would she have gone to the Blackboar Caves, to the mines?
I take it you do not want to talk to them about this.
Well,
I don't
they know all of our faces.
Do they? Oh, well, she does.
Yeah.
The rest of them don't. We could talk to someone else singled out, maybe, if we want to ask questions.
She was at a distance, and some of us have changed our clothing.
I was on the floor.
That is true.
If I may give a suggestion, the bard seems extremely talkative, and the squire seems like a nice little chap. Maybe they know something.
Do you think you could keep her busy?
Oh, you want me to distract her?
Yeah.
Sure. I can. I can approach her as under the guise of asking for a report for the guards to make sure that the security on the southern borders is restored.
I could try talking to the halfling. I think I'm gonna stumble over my words a bit if I talk to a knight.
Oh. There is one thing I can ask you, Kandor. For the Gilded Grail, on finishing a mission like this, do they have to, or are they required to give a report to anyone?
Well, no, they are not beholden to anyone, but I know for sure that Sir Hywell is quite often visiting the House of the Doe. He enjoys the audiences of Lady Petra. Sometimes I see him conversing with the guardmasters as well, but that is usually before he sets out on his quests.
Right. What's the bard's name again?
Callum of the Golden Doe.
Callum. Okay, do you want to try this? I'm willing to give it a shot.
Sure. Okay. I'll just go talk to the mage then.
He's gonna switch his shirt around so that the blood's in the back.
Okay. Perfect disguise. All right, so Candace straightens his clothing a little bit and moves through the crowd towards the mage. You see he stands a little bit like opposite to you guys at the table, so she kind of has to turn her body his way, and he whispers something with a serious expression, and you see her kind of pause for a second, look at the knight, Sir Hywell, and the knight smiles at her magnanimously and kind of nods, and she stands up and kind of leads her to a quieter area of the bar, although it is relative, but currently she's from, like, she's left the table where the rest of them sit.
He's good at this. Kova's gonna squeeze his way through the crowd, being the small little lad that he is. And he's going to straight up to Hallam, and in Halfling, he's gonna say, "Wow, are you the Hallam?"
It's Callum, but of course, 'tis I. Have you heard my songs?
Oh, of course I have. I'm a big fan. I traveled all the way from the Galads to hear this.
Give me a deception check.
From the Galads.
From the Galads.
From all the way from the Galads themselves.
I'm so glad to see you.
Ah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
19, okay? I'm gonna roll for him.
Oh.
He smiles and says, well, flattery can get you almost everywhere, but you clearly have no idea who I am.
Well, I have an inkling. Tunes carry further than faces.
Sure, what's your
it's-
favorite song of mine?
The one you're about to write about this story, I'm sure.
Beautiful. What would you like, fellow halfling?
I just want to know how you do it. You know, us halflings we're all these tiny little guys, and, you know, it's hard to stick out from the crowd, but
That's a
you-
matter of your outlook, my friend.
Exactly, that's what I mean. You sit here at the table with the knight and the mage and the archer. You were part of this grand party. You fought a dragon. This is crazy. How do I become like you?
He smiles a little and turns to Sir Hywel and says, it looks like another hopeful recruit, sir. And the knight kind of tips his goblet towards you, Kova, and says, well, young friend, it is a road that is tough but exciting. Being an adventurer is a tough job, but if you want to do what we do, your first step is to help people around you. Seek out the wrongs and right them. Protect the weak, etc., etc.
Yes. So he switches back to common. So how I have to ask, how did that dragon get there?
Kova, give me a performance check.
Oh god.
come on, Cobra, let's go.
Guidance.
19! Very good. Okay. Alright. Callum is still giving you a very, insightful look. Like he sees right through you, but is electing not to say anything. Meanwhile, the knight smiles at you and says, oh, it is a mystery after all. Yeah, we've heard from the desperate reports of the miners in the area that a black dragon came to roost. Strange indeed, for I fought dragons before. None were black before this, but I have heard enough that they usually prefer areas that are darker and more filled with, shall we say, swamps and such. It's a poisonous creature that uses its vile venom to destroy its opponents. Its gas is its breath, and it is a strange feeling to behold and very, very risky to fight, but here we are.
Oh, is everyone safe from the test tube mines?
Well, at least when we came here, the people were already out of the area, those who could, of course. It is a long process, I think, for them to feel safe enough to go back, but we've sent word, and sooner or later the miners will be back, and the mine will continue to work.
Amazing. I have a question though. I'm familiar with your work and that of your bard friend, but you're two new recruits. I've never heard of them before. Could you tell me a bit about them?
The knight looks at the half-elf squire and says, Ash, people are interested. You should talk about yourself more, lad. I told you. And Ash says, yes, of course, sir. I'm not very, I'm not in the habit of talking myself up that much, but I understand it's part of the job. My name is Ash Gilden. I am, the squire to Sir Hywel. This was one of my few jobs that I've done so far. It's technically my third, but I still feel very inexperienced next to such a hero. And Sir Hywel says, "Oh, please, he's too modest. My dear Ash has shown himself to be quite the hero."
I heard you shoot a bow, right?
Yes, a bow and 2 short swords when I need to.
Wow, my brother used to shoot a bow.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, back in Galat, probably.
You are very far from home.
Well, I had to follow up in such an amazing party. I've heard the tales. Word carries far.
Callum sips his drink and doesn't say anything, but you see a smirk behind his cup. He clearly does not buy it.
And what about your last party member?
Sir Hywel says, yes, Lizabel, a newest addition to our party. Of course, these fair folks are not the entirety of the Grail. We have some people holding up the fort while we're gone, but we were short-staffed in terms of arcane capabilities. And this young woman, and he looks at the side where she's still talking to Kanda, is quite a talent for her age.
Interesting. How do you go about recruiting people so quickly? Isn't that a bit dangerous? How do you know that they're trustworthy?
Well, the battle is how we know. If they show themselves to be capable and don't run away from a fight, then they're made from sterner stuff than most. You'd be surprised how easily one shows their true colors when it's life or death for them or others.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought about it that way.
You see a young woman, a human with little bob of curly blonde hair, kind of muscle her way towards the table, and accidentally on purpose hits you with her elbow and says, "Stop hogging their attention. Sir, is it true that the dragon was breathing needles and each needle is poisonous?" And so Hywel says, no needles, but it is poison that it breathes. You are correct, young lady. And she says, "Oh, I was reading. I was so worried about you." And she starts just talking, taking their attention.
Oh, my eye. It's better here to leave.
As you move from the table, you see Callum gently pluck at the back of your shirt, where the blood and the flashes are, and says, "Well, I do hope you enjoyed your little charade, but I'm watching you." And he lets you go.
Oh, it's an honor, sir.
He kind of just toasts you with his drink and doesn't say anything else.
He's gonna slink away.
All right. Kari, was there anything that you wanted to do in that time?
I don't think so. For her, she's seen these people, has heard Kova doing his thing, but she's not really going to pay the Gilded Grail much attention. For her as well, in terms of status, she's, it's not really going to be something so special. But I think she's heard enough from the conversation to glean that she's a new recruit, which is already known to us. But I don't see how she's going to acquire new info just yet. So she'll just be there in the atmosphere to then meet up with Kova and then.
All right. So Kova makes his way back to you. Looks a little winded, but he's back.
I learned a lot.
I'll bet you did.
Her name's Lizabel.
Lizabel.
Yeah. Oh, and the dragon's supposed to come from some swampy place.
No.
Which
Is that like a morn?
Well,
Is it
that's
the
what I'm
environment
thinking.
more?
If it prefers swamps and like dark, moody regions, it could have been in Morn before, and it could have been driven out, maybe?
Oh, because of the...
Right?
She whispers like the vast.
Yes! Or like, Troller.
Yeah. Does it seem like they fought and defeated this thing?
It seems so. Their bard was quite wary of me. I think he saw through my shtick. But like, the knight didn't. I admittedly did not know any of his songs, which was kind of a... Maybe
Did you try to lie?
I tried to spin it in a charismatic way, but I think he's quite onto me.
Yeah.
By this point, you see Kanda is also moving back to you. Lizabel is rejoining the table with the Grail, and as you turn Kari, you do notice that the bard Callum is speaking softly across the table to his companions about something.
Oh.
I should ask for their signatures. Like a fan does.
So I talked to the lady. Her name is Lizabel of the Silver Trout, and she told me in quite a bit of detail about that fight. Apparently, they took the fight on the edge of the ravine, and well, it was an epic battle that ended with Sir Hywel and the dragon both falling down. But thankfully, Sir Hywel had a way to use magic of flight to get back. But
Interesting.
it is, she was speaking of the battle in great detail. I do not think she was lying.
Yeah, I was talking to them too. Callum seems to be quite wary, but they're talking a lot about new recruits and how this is Ash's third mission or something. And the dragon was supposed to come from some swampy, dark place, so it's weird for him to be in the cave. They never fought a black dragon before either, apparently. So
That is interesting information. Is there anything else you think we can glean, or should we move upstairs?
I think we should move upstairs.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. As the music continues playing and Callum is back to singing of their great battle, people cheering around them, you guys move up and the sounds of the revelry get quieter and quieter around you. As you guys reach the door and you open the door with a key, Kova, you guys come in, see the open window and the room around you.
Anything weird?
Kova, give me an investigation check.
Guidance.
Okay.
Guidance.
How much is guidance?
Guidance.
14. Okay. So you look around and you do not notice any things taken. You also do not notice anything left here. Anything that would not be here ordinarily. You notice a couple things. The blankets and the pillows have clearly been touched. Not taken, but touched. So their position is slightly different. And yeah, the windowsill is clearly a little bit scratched by someone. It's unclear if it was Kari and Kanda or someone before that, but clearly someone was climbing in and out.
Do you guys shuffle through my bed?
No, we tried not to touch anything in case you noticed any discrepancies.
Yeah, my bed wasn't like this.
Meaning?
It's like shuffled.
Shuffled?
Like someone slept in my bed.
That is strange.
And I think the same for Ritz, but I'm not too sure.
I...
DJ! Try...
What? What?
maybe they weren't here to place or take anything. Maybe they were here to find me and Ritz. If they checked the bed, if we're in there.
Who would be looking for you?
I mean, there's quite a few people that don't like us. And Val
I am
was in this
shocked
room.
to hear that. Shocked.
Right, yeah.
You'll look at Kari.
This might be the room that, he might have been in.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, right. Who's he?
It's the Marcus.
Marcus. Who's Marcus?
There was a guy who had a silence sort of area around him, right, Kari?
Yeah. He was here. Well, on the topic, Betry.
Right.
On the night Betry was waving his tongue and saying far too much, there was an interesting fellow by the name of Marcus I ran into. Sat down with him. Perhaps he was suspicious of Betry and the things he was saying.
Yeah.
I see.
maybe
Well,
get
in that
here.
case, we definitely need to check up on Betry.
Right.
You
Yeah.
mentioned he was at Primrose?
Yes, Primrose, Vaudeville, and their auxiliary establishments are known around town as places for the rich to relax in the company of beautiful, talented young women. And he kind of blushes a little.
Oh, it might be a good idea to talk to Petra anyways. If we can, if we want to get Gideon in on the soiree anyways, maybe we should make it up with Petra and try and get him in too.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to just walk around town because I'm worried a bit about Ritz.
Same. I'm tempted to use a spell to find him.
Do you, this might be a selfish request, but could you save a spell for me?
Sure.
I heard you talk about being able to put people to sleep with a spell.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I think I could use that, before the soiree tonight.
Sure,
Thanks.
I can help.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so the plan is to find Ritz and then Primrose Parlor. Here's the thing. As the member of the guard, although not in active duty, I think I could use that to get into the Primrose Parlor without, paying this steep entrance fee. Well, listen, and he kind of blushes a little. It is urgent business. If we think that Betry is in trouble, I could get in there. And I think I'd be able to swing one other person in as a witness or identifier of some sorts. Do not believe I can sneak everyone in without paying their fees, and the fees are steep.
Right, yeah. Ritz could apologize, but I don't know if he's in the headspace right now. I could
If
talk
it's-
to him halfling to halfling.
If
For
it's
you-
all right, I would like to go find Ritz.
Yes, we should do that first, for sure.
Well, I think we can hit two birds with one stone, right? Me and Kova can go and talk to Betry, and Kari can find Ritz, and then we reconvene somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Where should we
Yeah.
meet?
Not here, that's for sure. What's a good landmark in town?
Oh, there's plenty. We can meet at the guard tower, we can meet at the Stonehand Bank, at the Hart Square, where we've been before this. We can
Tower might
even
be good.
we can even meet back at the Curtain Call, although it is a trip.
Yeah, I think the guard tower is a bit in the middle of it, right?
Yes, it is just around the corner here. Although, if we meet at the curtain call, we might be able to catch Wick up to speed as
Oh,
well.
right. True. That's a good call. Yes.
I
Curtain
feel
call,
like you
that
do not
works.
plan too much, guys.
I don't. This is so new to me.
It's okay. It's okay. I can help you. And he's smiling a little, clearly pleased to be of use. All right. Well, then we should probably get a move on. I'm worried about Betty if they are looking for him.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right. So, Kova and Kanta are on the way to Primrose Parlor, and Kari is on her way to find Ritz. This is where we will stop because we will play for 4.5 hours. So I guess there's part 3 of Down
Yay.
I'm so